Hey guys, what's up, sir? We're back again for another MSC. This is day 3, and this is the fight for the third place. So it's Echo again and Burn. I wonder if Echo had enough rest, because Echo's fight was just like an hour ago. Look, it's sleepy. They kinda look tired. Probably because of what happened with the nerve-wracking game they had against Onyx. And there were a lot of expectations for Echo. While Burn's fight was like 4 hours or more, 5 hours or so ago. Anyways, here we go, guys. Hi Mechanical, hi Rich Gaming Boy. Radish, cool. Yeah, took us a while. Fell asleep again. We kept on falling asleep. We're almost late. Labanan ng mga toxic, really. Elmer. Ooh, hot babes. Again, this is the fight for the third place. Yep, Echo versus Onyx is done. Onyx won. So like I was saying, hopefully Echo had enough rest, because Echo's fight was just an hour ago, while Burn had Fate, Potato, Anes. So let's go. I'm gonna shut up for now and let's listen to the game.
Game number 1 between Burn X Flash and Echo Philippines.
They're going to be starting things off very, very default. We're not seeing a fast force start coming in for Burn X Flash, and even for the side of Echo, they just want to play a standard game for now. Hit those level 4s, look for a neutral fight, and immediately start looking for plays. But keep in mind, D7, at this stage of the game, he's still very susceptible. He has no real means of escaping once he gets caught, so he has to play a very safe game, especially if he does have his abilities up.
It brings me back to the question, right? Mincetar into the composition that Echo have brought, right? Sanji, Benny, Yaoi, how is that gonna fare for them in the long run?
Well, in the long run, terribly, in a matter of fact. So it's about timings of fights, right? It's about when that King's Calling is available, and how exactly is Echo able to bait that out. Because remember, if we're talking about pickoff or engagement tools, Echo has a little bit of both, right? They've got Samford, who can initiate the fight to maybe get the King's Calling. They got Yaoi to kick somebody out of position to maybe get the King's Calling, and then it's about the push and pull.
D7 trying to get himself away, immediately terrified, but Echo just wanted to poke D7.
Very interesting here. Okay, so a little bit of aggression happening on the board right now, but you know, Chima, wow, he's actually getting chunked really low by Karltizi. In the, turtle acquisitions, how is that going to go?
Right? That's where it gets really good for Burn X Flash, because it's a timing that Echo can't really play around. So you'll see how Echo kind of positions around it, right? Keep in mind that Echo's the one that doesn't want to make that first move, but when it comes to neutrals, they kind of don't have that choice. And Burn X Flash are going to have to try and hold them hostage for as long as possible. As long as they've got the King's Calling, it's going to be tough. So look, Samford, he's walking right up to their faces, and Sanji's making sure Tribe Rush is going to be a safe angle.
And D7 immediately just get kicked by the hands of the Yaoi. ATM is the one that actually manages to take the turtle off for himself. But Tamar, even though he was trying to get himself in, he still managed to dash himself right out, leaving ATM all alone. But somehow, Burn X Flash didn't lose more than one person, and they got a turtle.
Okay, so a little bit of an advantage here for Burn X Flash. Do you agree with that?
Yes. I mean, I would like to believe that, but let's also keep in mind that Valentina can do the exact same thing that D7 wants to do, right? It's whoever finds that big engage first won't be able to drop it.
And of course, Way of the Dragon connects down to D7. This is yet another time where D7 gets constantly targeted.
It's all about his ult. It's literally all about his ult. That's what this entire game is about, right? You're gambiting upon your opponent. You're trying to steal his ultimate because it really hurts both sides of the composition.
it seems it's a lot about disengage from the side of Burnex Flash when it comes down to D7.
I mean, ideally, they don't want to be just disengaging, right? You need to be able to get some kind of value or profit. The only issue is that there's only one of D7, and not everybody is able to quote-unquote find that pick. So that's when you start adding ATM into this mix. And hopefully, by the time he's unlocked from his lane, he's actually capable and strong enough to start threatening that back line.
I actually find this quite interesting, right? Both of the mages opted for the discount emblem. And sometimes we see a little bit of a mix for Novaria, right? Sometimes Impure Rage, sometimes Magic Worship. But here, Mystery Shop against the Valentina. Oh!
Nice catch. However, it doesn't seem like they managed to lock Sanji down for even longer and had to use the King's Calling.
Pre-buffering, that's really great coming in from Sanji's side. He didn't want to use his ability, so using that flicker is just a very safe method to do so. And not to mention that the fact that he's already used the IMU, so no point going further than that. Other than the fact that we need to keep in mind, again, D7 he's got his flickers back up, and I think, you know, Burnex Flash, they're going to be setting up for this neutral fight. So get ready for it. Look at the positioning from Echo.
Doesn't seem like the Mirage or the member from the side of Burnex Flash will be able to stop Yawi from pushing right in, as that is going to be yet again another kick from Yawi. This man is never, ever going to stop.
Yeah, that's the thing about Echo, right? They are so quick on the objectives. We saw that in their previous series as well. And when it comes down to it, they really know just how to make things uncomfortable for their enemy. Yawi always positioning really well in the bush. You know, positioning is so key, right? Bushes are so key. Vision is so key. Burnex Flash actually has CCAT. So with CCAT, shouldn't they have a little bit more to play around with? Try to, you know, shut down Yawi with a surprise Way of the Dragons.
I don't think it's surprise that they're worried about, right? They can scout him out, of course, but do they really threaten Yawi just yet? You only have damage. You don't have a necessary means to lock him down, and that's the big problem, right? D7 is going to try and be that guy, but he doesn't want to waste too many of his resources. The most he can do, the most he can commit for is the Spear of Glory, but anything more than that, that's far too many resources.
With 4 men all the way down south, they would want to target this first tier defense turret as much as possible without losing a single person. But Next Flash moved forward and advances and manages to clear the wave, at least for now.
All right, and that's a 1,000 gold lead already being attained by Echo. It seems like they're putting a little bit of focus here on Donut, trying to shut him down from the first few minutes of the game, but you know, they haven't been able to catch him.
Very patient on their buttons. Oh!
Way of the Dragon connecting on the D7 once again. King's Calling blocked down, but it doesn't seem like Yawi is affected by that at all. They still manages to collapse down the D7. Third death already. In the meantime, we're just gonna be chilling right up in the top lane where Shamar finds himself on the edge against the Grog. Where Yawi escapes himself away from ATM while we are still continuing to look at Donut taken down. And this is all spiraling out of control for Burnex Flash.
Look at the mid lane, it's already getting shoved on top side. We're already getting a huge shove as all places have had a successful trade. Now they continue to push even further in the mid lane.
Are they gonna go for it? Okay, they're not, okay. Oh, almost landed that. But yeah, coming back to what we're seeing right now, right? Like you mentioned here, the disparity of even the levels are very apparent here. Chima actually just reached that level 9. Kaltizi already at level 9. Even Benny QT is quite far ahead of Donut, with Herod being an APC hero going against Donut. Who gets that power spike first?
Initially, it's going to be Benny QT for sure, right? He's got that discount, he's got the bargain, he's got 3 kills under his belt in comparison to Donut, who needs a couple of items to really maximize his emblem, right? Weapon Master, it does take some time, it's not immediate impact, but let's see. Kaltizi looking for an opportunity to really start forcing things out for Burnex Flash.
But Kaltizi, it doesn't seem like he's phased at all, despite facing D7, Donut, ADM, and CCAT is just right around the corner.
Yeah, unfazed, unbothered is just really the gimmick that Kaltizi has brought to MSC, going for these kinds of picks. It's worked out, and they have gotten a lot of objectives because of that.
Do you guys see that? Oh, hold on a second, never mind. As Yawi immediately jumped himself right on Shamar, tries to bring him down, but Shamar is the one that managed to take a kill down onto Yawi instead. As the fight prolongs, Kaltizi holds himself in the front. He wants to go for the taunt, but Donut takes the kill away. The Zaman Force lays down, and Benny QT takes the kill onto Donut, moves on to the next, gets himself a double, and this is how they're going to disengage by having a 2-for-2 trade.
Yeah, 2-for-2 trade, extremely key in that particular team fight was the fact that the Holy Crystal was built in, giving him a little bit of more damage for Benny Cutie to rush the members of Burnex Flash.
No, that's a perfect way of putting it, because again, that's why you're wondering, why is he holding, if he already has it, why is he holding back here super far away? He's waiting for the King's Calling. Notice Benny Cutie goes around. Carl Teasy tells the rest of his team, yo, I'm gonna die, we need to find a trade somehow, and that's immediately when you see Benny Cutie drop that Zaman Force, and look how fluid his movement is, right? Finds the Synchro Fissure, gets that full initial burst when you're right in the middle of it, on towards Donut's side, and then transfers the kill over down into the mid lane against the Mincitars. So every single time we get into these fights, it's about that push and pull consistently before and after the King's Calling.
But ladies and gentlemen, we are experiencing a technical pause. Remember, we want the best for you guys at home watching. You want the best experience. We also want the best experience for the players as well. But yes, it seems like Abstract had a point here.
Now, remember how I wanted to say something right before the team
Yeah,
fight?
what was that?
The main thing is that one thing that I wanted to say was the Frederick. I'm not too sure whether he did it on purpose. He immediately dashed into the trajectory of the Astrosphere. The Astrosphere could have clipped onto Valentina, and in the very event that Valentina got clipped before that fight, I think that, you know, that fight wouldn't have went to Echo.
It probably wouldn't have, what's the word I'm looking here? It probably wouldn't have mattered in the long run, because that would mean that the entire team just moves back together. The fact that he still has the health, it does give Echo a little bit more confidence to say, yeah, I can take maybe 1 or 2 auto attacks, but more than that, it's still going to be too much for me if Beatrix is right up in my face. So at the end of the day, right, it's all about that push and pull. How do you push and how do you actually end up pulling away from your opponents? Unfortunately for Burnex Flash, the pulling part is the most difficult, because there's no real way to do that comfortably other than using the King's Calling, which kind of falls into the category of your most high priority ultimate. When it's that valuable, do you really just want to use it to pull away? You feel like you need to get a trade.
I mean, technically, you have the Lapu Lapu, right? I mean, that's something that you could utilize potentially in these team fights, but I like how you mentioned that, because so far, we haven't seen these CC-heavy heroes being able to just stop the movements coming in from Benny QT. He's been having a really good time. I mean, look at that 5-0-0 already here. That's a lot of gold for him.
Yeah, nobody's catching him. And I like the fact that you brought up ATM, because yes, he's supposed to change that fact, but credits to Sanford. He's clearing out the waves faster. He's literally living up to the moniker of Grok. He is being an unmovable object, and ATM, it's kind of frustrating for him, right? He's not really trading against him. He's not allowing him to move first, and that's how Sanford is maintaining his lead.
And now, of course, Yawi finds himself low in HP, still went down. D7 flickers into the King's Calling. He was hoping that he'll be able to clip a little bit onto the Lord, but Shamar focuses onto the Lord, takes the Lord away from the hands of Echo. The rest of Burnex Flash immediately falls backwards after getting what they wanted.
Oh man, okay, so they win the team fight, but unfortunately they had to lose the Lord. But it looks like Carl Teasy, Benny Cutie once more!
Donut immediately taken down. Sandy proxies the lane and went straight in front for C-Cat, pushing him away even more.
Yeah, they're not going to keep on doing this, right? Okay, the Lord is going to spawn, and at least for Burnex Flash, that means that Echo isn't going to just try and end the game right on the dot. And wait, Benny!
Oh, Benny is not going to be stopping anytime soon. The Zaman Force dropped right down. He's going 1v3. The first person already taken down, but here comes Yawi with the Way of the Dragon. Just going to be connecting down on the ATM. Completely terrified, flickers himself out of the way. And of course, even the King's Calling came in clutch.
Beautiful stuff coming out from Benny QT. He knows for a fact that D7 can't completely commit onto him, especially when he doesn't have that follow-up damage. And as soon as Benny spots the person who is going to be that follow-up damage, that's when he starts repositioning and calls in for Yawi.
Wait. Burnex Flash, no dominance?
Oh, you're right. I don't see a dominance just yet. Yeah, that's going to be a bit of an issue. Not being able to kind of deal with the healing, not being able to deal with the shielding at the same time. That's coming out for Benny QT. But to be fair, is that really going to matter when he's already 2k ahead? The fact that he's got like an extra 2 items on his opponents, like, I don't need the shield, I just need to kill you.
True, but I don't know. I guess that's a step in the right direction. No, I mean, zero respect for Benny. 8-0-1 already here. 4,000 gold lead, and Echo, oh my god, again!
Wait, the dragon again! Onto D7. However, the rest of the members from the Echo is just a little bit too late for the follow-up.
You know, looking at that play, right? Is it wise actually for Yaoi to go for the Way of Dragon on D7?
Yes, it absolutely is. And think of it this way, right? You're kicking him not into the middle of your team, you're kicking him at an off angle, hoping that D7 utilizes that ult so the rest of your team can disengage. Keep in mind, Sanford can wild charge outside of the King's Calling and still get the knock-up as he's passing through the entire King's Calling area of effect. In that moments, right? We're hoping for choke points. That's what we're looking for. Burnex Flash need to bait Echo into a point where they can't seem to fall back. And there's only two places he can do it. Number one, the Lord or Turtle Pit, or number two, these POIs on the map, which is going to be the buffs.
Okay, and oh man, like even with that, I think Burnex Flash recognized it. You don't see that they are looking for a contest. 11 minutes, 12 minutes in, Abstract. How are we feeling about this game?
It's definitely grim for Burnex Flash, right? And I'm trying to really wrap my head around as to what they can really do. The main thing that I want to see is probably give some more time to Donut, because when it comes down to the goal disparity, Donut to Bandicutie, that's gonna be huge. And the only way that they can probably get the game going is when CCAT skills, Donut skills, because this team is kinda expensive.
Yeah, you're right? And that's interesting because Donut just picked up the Malefic Roar. Is that going to be detrimental to this Lord take?
Absolutely, but I mean, they've got the information. Tech pause once again. Unlucky, but it gives us time to talk about it, right? At the end of the day, the Malefic Roar is going to be extremely useful, and especially for any marksman, it's just the go-to item to make sure that when you get an auto attack and it lands, it's going to hurt.
I mean, we have seen a lot of times throughout the entirety of MSC 2023 where a Bennett's Rage eventually helps to take down the Lord or helps them to combo into taking down the Lord. And unfortunately, I don't think that Echo has got anything within sort of that capacity to immediately burst the Lord down and kind of time the Retribution together. So
I mean, they've got Sanford. He's on the Grok, and that has high base damages. Number two, they also got the Zaman Force, so if he wants to just time the Chrono Fissure, that works too.
Okay, with that being said, right, it didn't seem, before we went into the technical pause, that Burnex Flash wanted to contest for the Lord. They were in the bottom side. What were they doing there?
They know that they can't necessarily win out these fights. They know that they're behind, and they recognize that, right? Because again, they're just going to play for high ground defense. They've got a Beatrix, so why not abuse the fact that the Beatrix has two ults that are really, really particularly good at clearing out waves.
So in conclusion, they want to manipulate that bottom lane and then go to the Lord? Or are they just going for a completely different target here?
I think they're going for a completely different target. Now here's one thing that I will say. For all intents and purposes, Shima might still try to go in 1v5 maybe to steal this away. There is that possibility. I won't take that away from him. He's already done it once. I wouldn't be too surprised if he does it again. But in trade, right, I give you the second Lord of the game. I might be able to get a tier 1 down on the bottom side, and then we start playing high ground right from our base until we start coming back to an even playing field, which I would say would happen around 14th, 16th minute.
Short pause on our discussion here. Ladies and gentlemen, for those of you watching at home, you guys can redeem this code because we love y'all, you know.
It's still paused. 1 minute and 30 seconds before the technical issue is done. Nice audience, by the way. Good job, cameraman. Yabang TV Cats. Elgin, any vids for surprise box? I'm not sure. I'm gonna check if we can actually do a content about it. Radish. Still waiting for the technical issue. Can you tell me your girlfriend's name? It's Yvette. Yvette. Like Y. Yvette. Oh, it's done. It's done. It's finished. They fixed it. See. There. Let's go.
I do like the idea of Shima just going in and just play whatever that he can to really weave himself in and out at the same time. But at least they managed to find some counter value by bringing down the first tier defense turret in the bottom lane. At least it gives them some more gold to work with.
Well, let's see how much gold is going to be necessary, right? I mean, we're coming to a point where Echo is going to hit 42k faster than Burnex Flash. But once Burnex Flash hits 42k of their own, the game starts to even out amongst the marksmans, right? Both gold lane players, and especially if we're talking about Bandicutie, he's in a comfortable spot. I think he's already got full build. He's 8 kills into this game, power farming, level 15 at the same time. But if we come back over to Donut, he's 2 levels away from max level, and I'm sure he's 3 items off from actually being at his full build. With that in mind, we need to make sure that we understand the fact that Chima needs to be the one that baits out the big spells from the side of Echo. I'm hoping that he's gone for full tank and switched out some of his items.
As the Lord now raises his trident, crashes down onto the middle lane first tier defense turret, the top lane is pushing in as well, while Kaltizi is hoping that he will be able to bring down the second tier defense turret in the bottom lane as well. And that will effectively wipe out all the outer turrets, allowing Echo to have quite a bit of a push lane down the middle line, which Echo would probably make full use of. Oh, Yowie! With the flicker in and the kick right down onto ATM. He's gonna be the first person to be taken down while D7 continues to move on forward with the King's Calling. That is going to be one death from the side of Burnex Flash while Yowie sacrifices himself for the greater good.
Very aggressive play by Yowie earlier. It does get a trade onto ATM, and this brings me to the point that I really wanted to bring up earlier. Burn X Flash has such an amazing amount of high ground, so when it comes down to the defense, it's going to be a little bit more tricky for Echo, who direly needs to end this as soon as possible.
I mean, I don't know whether they want to end it as soon as possible. They already played a 39-minute game. Maybe they want to make it into a 40-minute game. Look, they've scrimmed more. Probably they've had longer scrims than professional games. I'm going to be really honest here. But 5-12 so far, obviously it's not looking good. But as I mentioned, 14 to 16 minutes is when you're going to see Burnex Flash actually start evening out that score. If we're looking at Novaria, she's got more than enough items. And I like the fact that she did... Oh, hold on.
Oh, and of course, the Diamond Force drops down. D7 even had the King's Calling. There's so many knockdown going on, but it doesn't seem like it will bother Echo at all as they marches right on in. They find D7. He still have immortality, but what can the immortality really do for them? They focus us down onto every single one of these creeps, but where are all the creeps in the top lane? It is still left with a sliver of health on the turret.
Well, I mean, you mentioned that Lancelot needed to bait resources. He did, but he died in the process, so this is looking very grim.
Yowie kicks ATM back to his fellow teammates, but perhaps this is what we want to see. The Astro Echo connects down onto Echo, but that immediately pushes Echo away because they just don't want to deal with this.
Here's the thing, right? Yes, Chima needs to bait out resources, but they can't be working in pairs. 2v5 is still not good odds for him at the end of the day, and they have to recognize that not everybody's at max build. 7.6k deficit for them as of right now, and if this game drags out for another 2 minutes, the gold lead isn't really going to matter at the end of the day, which is when Burnex Flash probably want to burn out these resources or buy this Lord Pit. That's what I was waiting for, not buy the purple side, and I think even for Chima, he probably just wanted to have his purple buff more than anything else.
I mean, you know, being an assassin against someone like Echo, it's not an easy feat to do because you know that you are going to be bullied for that purple buff, especially when you don't have the map control, and that's exactly what we're seeing here. It's just, oh, wait, what?
Yowie connects down onto Donut. What were you doing there, Donut?
Oh no, not Donut! This is right before the Lord. Do they even need the Lord? Okay, they're going for the Lord, they're going for the safe pick, but that's not looking good. 30 seconds left, the Lord is gonna spawn. What can Burnex Flash do?
Honestly, nothing at this point. Donut was their only way to kind of like bounce back and trying to turn the tables because he's got enough damage, and also the highest DPS amongst his team members.
Nice hook coming in from D7. It made and forces Sanji to go for the flicker, but Yowie immediately broke through the defenses and kicked ATM out of it all. Wasn't even able to use the Mightiest Warriors. D7 knocked down onto the King's Calling. It forces the rest of his members from the side of Echo away. Chima is still in the midst of it all. The Kaltizi's HP doesn't look very good, but in the end of the day, Burnex Flash still managed to defend this until I don't know, because D7 still wanted to re-engage. He went for the hook. Chima went straight in again. He wants to get a kill on Yowie, but it doesn't seem like he will be able to successfully do so. At the middle lane, Lord, he's just gonna be slamming right down with the Trident. The rest of Echo follows through. Only left with Seacat as well as Donut. Seacat is gonna be taken down so well, D7, and that will be the first game taken in by Echo.
Wow, all right. Echo really bringing their A game here in this.
And there you have it, guys. An easy first win coming from Echo. No losers. Guys, for those guys who are asking, this match between Burn and Echo is the fight for the third place. the finals is basically set already. The first and second place is gonna be a fight against Blacklist versus Onyx. So the two top guys is the Blacklist and Onyx right now. They're gonna be fighting it out tomorrow, which is the finals. This fight you're seeing right now with Burn versus Echo is just a fight for the third place. Because Burn and Blacklist already fought and Blacklist won. Echo and Onyx already fought and Onyx won. This fight is for the third place. The finals is gonna be Onyx versus Echo, PH versus Indo. Since they already played solo. I know, right? I was wondering if Echo was tired. Ooh, snap. Scream more. Hot babe alert. I was wondering if Echo is tired because their last game was just an hour or so ago against Onyx, and it was nerve-wracking, man. I think the fight of Echo and Onyx previously was definitely the top fight of the MSC so far, unless we see a better fight tomorrow coming from Blacklist and Onyx. I know, right? Onyx improved a lot. So even the fights from M4, that fight from coming from Onyx and Echo is definitely within the top place, considering even including the fights from M4. That's how insane that fight was. It went to the 7th Lord. 7th Lord. How many? Almost 30 minutes. Or did it pass 30? Did it reach 30 minutes? Their last fight? That's why I was wondering if Echo is already tired. But from the looks of it, that's a no. Jesse Patilan, what's up? 37? It went to 37 minutes? Yeah, that more than 30 minutes. That's insane, man. People were saying if they didn't end it. 37 minutes. God dang. It was nice. It was nerve-wracking, right? Like, one mistake. They kept on having clashes and it kept on coming out even. The funny thing was Onyx was in danger because Echo had Echo got the 7th Lord. And everyone was up. All 5 men were alive. And miraculously, Onyx, I don't know how, we're gonna have to replay that. Onyx defended that last 7th Lord and made a counter. Whew. Echo kinda choked today. Echo got the 7th Lord. They somehow defended. I know, right? The speeds. Kyrie died with 74 seconds. Was it 74 seconds? Respawn time was insane. I know, right? Last game was just insane. Boy Mason, the friend of Borgi Monotok. Next live video, can I see your girlfriend? Nah, my girlfriend's shy, man. My fiancé is shy. Because we usually live stream during Friday on ranked games. We play with Ayok and Down. Yeah, even Kyrie said that he's only good at dashing when he's using Lancelot and not good with retry as compared to Cartesi's Lancelot. On Fanny though, on game 1, Kyrie's retry on Fanny was on point. If you remember. Tell us which part of which good highlights should we add from those 3 matches of Onyx. There were some good highlights on game 1, Onyx and Echo. Was there any good highlights on game 2? Because we're gonna make a shorts about it. Shorts video. We're definitely gonna put that highlights wherein Kyrie was able to escape the four-man. Four-man was trapping Kyrie. Almost 5 because Franco came in. Focus on Eterna, Elgin. Eterna? Which one's... Oh, the shoutcaster? That's Eterna? Ooh. Hi, Eterna. Game 3 last part. Yeah, Kyrie's dash is a must. We're gonna have to put that on the short highlights. Because that escape was insane. Can Echo clutch this again? I think this... Burn actually also put up a good fight on against Blacklist on game 1 and game 2. Almost winning the game 1 as well. Burn almost won game 1 and then they took game 2. But then Blacklist got their flow back. Ooh, Yue Kagura. Yeah, I loved seeing Kagura there. Was it that was the first time that Kagura was picked, right? On the MSC. Too bad Kagura wasn't the MVP. But it was the Navaria, Venus. Is there a chance that one can outplay Black? I mean, they did beat Echo, and that says a lot, man. Echo beat Blacklist before on M4 0-5. Remember, 0-5. Echo beat Blacklist 0-5. But that's not the only... We can't base it only on those facts because it really depends a lot. Like sometimes these teams are like rock, paper, and scissors. Like this team is good against this one, and they're weak against this team. You know. So definitely, Onyx has a big chance. Onyx has a good chance. Well, Onyx has a chance against Blacklist. They did beat Echo. And Echo beat Blacklist before with a 0-5. But like I said, we can't just base it on those stats. And Blacklist, to be honest, is looking strong right now. Blacklist came in prepared. They've probably couldn't forget that 0-5. That's why so far during the MSC, Blacklist wasn't able to play Estes because priority ban for Blacklist is Estes. That's why you could see Blacklist actually working on a different kind of strategy. You see them Navaria and Bea. Yeah, Bots and Keyboy and Kyrie. ML dead games. Really? Para Elgin, mag-draw ka na ng ticket sa event. Patingin yung kuha mo. We're probably gonna make a video about that. The tickets on the event. Maybe. We'll check if we can make a video about that one. One thing I like about Echo though really is they're a solid team, but the favorite thing I like about Echo is their jersey, man. The color combination on their jersey is on point. That ube color. Purple. What's up, Nebula Place? Carl looks like a dad of the rest. Really? Got them nice jersey. Right? Ano score? It's 1-0. Classic high school jockey jersey. BTS or Echo? BTS, really? What about the Jordan? You said you want the Jordan shoes. Yeah, I'd want those Jordan shoes. Just to use it on the gym. Ooh, 3-0 na this coming from Roby Ross Rizaba. Well, hopefully Bern can also answer back, cause Bern is from Cambodia and MSC is being held right now in Cambodia. So they have to show their fellow countrymen a good game. They gave Blacklist a good game. Hopefully they can do the same against Echo. Kuya, ano masasuggest mo na EXP hero ngayon? Personally, I love using Grok. EXP Grok. With a high and dry assassin emblem. Elgin or Nigel? It's Elgin. My real name is Elgin. Elgin Ray. I'm gonna be sad if this becomes a 3-0 game again. Yeah, hopefully not. Hopefully Burn shows us a good game. Did you play the new Zelda? Not yet. I wanna play games, man. It's just that it's so much work. I wanna read books and play games. And finish my other mangas. Kuya, malakas pa po ba si 1-1? Definitely, 1-1 is one of the meta marksmen here on the MSC. Meta marksman is Beatrix, 1-1, Leslie, Kerry, Kimi as well, but as a jungler. Layla versus 1. I would go for 1-1, man, but if Layla somehow gets fed, we never know. Because a fed Layla is a menace. The problem is with Layla, how can you get fed? Especially in the higher ranks. It's easy to use Layla in the legends and lower. Leslie is doing good recently in the MSC. The damage. Oh, Claude as well. Mafedalina, what's up? Well, Layla is doable in probably even in mythic, but when like mythical glory 100 stars, it's gonna be tough. People know who they will die for you, man. Oh yeah, Brody as well, Brody. Yep, Brody as well. May nalik po na may bago i-add sa skins. We can't do leaks though. We can't do leak videos. Argus? Did we? I think we've seen one Argus. Did we see one Argus? YSS tank build meta? Is that legit? I haven't heard that. Is it? Kuya Alya, alam niyo po ba kailan balik ng KOF? Not yet, Jam. I'm still not sure. Joel Mpom. Big fans from Nagaland. Shout out to Joel from Nagaland. Where's Nagaland? Marami nagsasabi na hindi daw kakayanin ng Blacklist yung Onyx. Well, we will see tomorrow because there's gonna be a lot of debate, a lot of trash talk going for Onyx and Blacklist, but we're all gonna find out tomorrow. Anyways, draft pick is starting, guys. So we're gonna shut up for now and check out the draft pick of this guys. Tell me on which team do you think has the better draft pick? Oh, I forgot to do the poll. Okay.
Again, same, no different, same.
I would assume that Burnex Flash is going to pick up the Frederick. Time and time again, they did this, and it worked out. So this is probably one of the main reasons that they are able to hold their ground.
So just switching around the jungler matchup, Artis is like, Lancelot's open, great, I'm gonna get it. Jaman's like, okay, let's try the Fredrin. Again, the Fredrin is a big Chad, and we know big Chads, they don't stay in one lane. They can do whatever they want. They can be a jungler, they can be an XP laner.
Yep, they can just go wherever they want, take whatever they want, and honestly, most people just let them do it for the most part of it, right?
Some even say please.
Some even beg for it. It's crazy. But again, we're seeing that the Valentino falls into the hands of Echo, and that already puts a couple of questions in my mind. What does Burnex Flash have to actually adapt it? Do you deny good ultimates away from the Valentina, or are you hoping to kind of shut down Sanji by, I don't know, trying to get some kind of gold lane priority, force out the Beatrix early on, make Benecutie go back onto the Harith once more, and then look to set up for another fight with a Mincetar? That could be one way that they can look for it.
Horology is my name.
What's
Interesting.
Hold on a second.
Okay, this is interesting because I thought that maybe Burnex Flash would want to pick up something like the Kufra, which is a power pick for G7, but they go the completely opposite direction. They go for anti-CC instead. The Eve is going to accompany that, and to Echo, just really
Sniper
fast
ready.
response here
Give me
with
a
the
target.
Claude to deal with that back line.
Okay, looking at the Claude pick, I'm smelling Leslie as well as Carrie to get banned. Don't ask me how they smell, like it's just one of those things, right? Now, Burnex Flash, now that they have the Diggy, now they have the Eve, honestly quite a good artillery kind of setup. Are they looking to play the big tricks again?
This land is our homeland.
Let me think about this. I think that would probably
Or Brody.
Or the Brody. I think even the Brody, it really depends on what Donut is
Time and
feeling in
tide
particular,
wait
right?
for
Because
no man.
Echo, it's
Stand
clear
up,
to
girl.
see that they want to make sure that they can get rid of Leslie. They've seen how Donut has performed on it. They also banned the Beatrix, so they also care about the priority as well. It's not just for the fact that true damage is going to be key to winning this game, but also the overall length and range that you can work with. So as of yet, right, we see that the Valentina has two big ticket ults that they could potentially steal. And Burnex Flash probably don't care which one they take, because at the end of the day, it's all about ramming their head against the wall and see how many picks they can get before disengaging once more.
So far, Arlet's been left open. Oh no, Arlet
That's
is
bad.
banned. That's why we haven't seen them. I don't know, does Burnex Flash want to commit onto Edward
When the body
with the
suffers,
bans?
your
They
team
do,
is
he does, they do.
Oh, well, okay, so far Beretta as well as Zarapu is banned out. Now Sanford, looking into the situation, I kind of feel like he has still a lot in his pocket. I wonder if it's going to be boring to pick up the Uranus. Honestly, it's a hero that Gideon doesn't like. If I'm Sanford, I almost want to say, let me be the last pick. Let me see where this Fredrin is going, and then I'll make a decision.
You know, Grok's still open.
That's true. I really can't think of anything else that is currently available that
There is help, but the Diggy is there, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like Terizla, like, you're hoping for a good lane matchup, but you're technically going at it blind. If you want to play safe, I think Rock is still good. At least you might be able to make something out. Now, Paquito
Punching a bird.
punching a bird. This is, I don't know. I don't feel 100% comfortable with this because generally I don't want Peter to, come down at me. But I also think that having the kill pressure gives a new aspect to this game, right? It now opens up a couple of opportunities to really start threatening the back line.
Okay, so now that you see, honestly, I kind of feel like Echo, they're just jumping in, right? Valentina double dashing in, the Claude blazing duet into the domain in Burnex Splash. And now we're thinking this is going to be Sanford on Paquito doing quite a lot of burst damage. I kind of feel like Echo, if no one's going to stop them, they're just going to rush into Burnex Splash, and I don't know what they can do to stop it.
honestly, in the first before that Paquito was picked. Oh, Bane! Wait, Bane?
Oh,
Okay,
yeah.
so it's a Fredrin EXP.
So Deadly Catch pushed them away, because I was thinking, like, how are they going to stop the movements coming in? So they're like, fish.
Big fish.
Fish is the key.
Yeah.
Remember how I said shark in the sea?
Foreshadowing.
Aren't they dolphins? Is the deadly catch not dolphins?
Hey, yo, what are you playing Minecraft or something? Like, this is Mobile Legends.
not
Come on,
dolphins?
like, come on.
No, seriously.
They're not.
Okay.
Oh.
How did
Total recall. Fun fact. Currently, Echo has used a total of 921 recalls. This MSE 2023, only 67 recalls were successful. I see the Matilda pick, but let me just say, the amount of budget that we have, that we employ one person to look at all the total recalls of every single team individually is outstanding. Now let's talk about the Matilda.
Can you imagine that we don't have the technology to actually find out how much recall they actually have? We have counted someone with a counter just.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's manual.
You know, I like it, kind of. The Matilda, right? Because I understand, right? Echo are very melee oriented with like the draft that they have. They want to dive in. The problem is Bane's ultimate is going to be a deterrent towards that engage, and so the Matilda should be able to, you know, fly them out of that sticky situation.
Here's the thing, Matilda is a very strong early game hero, can dive in, can dive out of the situation. We gotta go into the game, dive into the game.
Let's dive, like LaFell mentioned, into the land of dawn we go. Game number 2 between Burn X Flash and Echo.
All right, to kick things off, right, as LaFell mentioned before, I totally agree with him. The fact that Burn X Flash now have an insurance policy. If things go wrong, they don't just have to imagine the Diggy protecting himself, but also with the deadly catch. And, oh, Carl Teasy, what a flex here. Look at that. The Bren Emma2 World Championship skin?
Spicy, 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 flexing a little bit here. I think maybe his ego got hurt a little bit, you know, from the interview beforehand.
I mean, that's probably one of the cases, but I can't help but feel that, you know, even for Carl Teasy, maybe he shouldn't have ego checked against Onyx that many times. However, I am very curious about this, you know, bottom side of the map, right? When we're looking at the EXP Paquito into this Fredrin, it is the most boring lane ever because you're not going to really get, if it's played perfectly, Sanford isn't really going to get too far with this. He really has to force a mistake out of ATM in this early laning phase.
Donut and D7, the both of them are dealing with quite an adversary at the top lane with Yawi and Kaltizi. Echo, after all, is a very early game setup, and they have a lot of ways that they can really deal with this Brody. They are strong in the early game, and I would assume that they would want the snowball.
So far, oh, Kaltizi going a little bit aggressive here.
Doesn't seem like it's going to amount to much though. A little bit of poke here and there, but at least now we know that Donut, his EXP, is not looking as well as what Benny Cutie has.
Yeah, I mean, overall, at the end of the day, I think for Benny Cutie, he's just focusing on clearing these waves. And even though Echo recognized that maybe we won't be able to have as much kill pressure and force priority whenever we want to, at the very least, what we do actually have that works for us is ultimates that not necessarily benefits the entire world, but enough to focus on a one person, right? You need to be able to get D7 to ult out.
And Benny Cutie realizes that, you know, he doesn't have a lot of health to work with. He might as well just blazing duet the entire creep wave and eventually head back home. But in the meantime, the main thing is Echo, doing all of that, manages to take the turtle down.
Yeah, still staying very objective right now, able to get the turtle once again, like we saw in the previous game. And it's interesting, right? Because we haven't seen a Matilda in a very long time. When we see Matilda, we instantly think about V. Is this hero suited towards somebody like Yawi?
I think if we talk about Matilda, there's one thing that you have to be very, very good at, and that's communication, right? Because you can't expect your teammates to always be consistently looking out for your position or seeing the markers on their UI, right? At the end of the day, it's all about how does Yawi communicate with the rest of the team so they can pull themselves in and out of these tough spots, or better yet, set up for those very big dives. Because at least when you have those guiding wins, you're kind of able to dive on towards your opponents in these sticky situations to cancel out good abilities and put people who have a lot of kill pressure against someone who's squishy, D7, or maybe in this case, even Donut if he walks up too far.
I agree with that, right? I agree with that statement, especially Matilda has the circle.
Oh! First blood goes to the hands of Kaltizi, and that is not good at all. I mean, we're talking about Diggy.
Yeah, it's he's gonna have to start restacking all over again. He's going for the impure rage. You know that he wants to build damage. You know that he wants to just farm auto alarm bombs.
Yeah, I really wanted to talk about this Diggy, right? Because that's exactly the person I wanted to, you know, bridge it onto. Matilda Airlines has a circling eagle, should be able to, like you mentioned, go for those priority picks on the side of Burnix Flash. But how does that fare with the fact that D7 does have that anti-CC to cancel all that out?
I mean, it sounds like a good idea, but imagine if Sanford actually gets ahead in this lane, right? Maybe he has 3 items, I would assume. Maybe even 2 items isn't too bad. Matilda Airlines pulls him in, and we play out the situation. Sanford has closed the distance against someone like a Diggy who doesn't have the base. Oh, wait, this is actually getting really close.
Oh, ATM is not exactly in a very nice position as we have 4 people surrounding him. Sanji immediately pops off with the time journey, and that allowed the rest of the members from the Echo just continue advancing forward. They took the turtle, they didn't get any kills just yet, and I don't think that they will want to force the advantage onto ATM.
Huh, interesting. I would have imagined that Burnix Flash would have completely let go of that. The fact that they actually postured for it, rather interesting, because they're digging as well as for Donut. We're still on the top side of the map, so generally these neutrals probably wouldn't have happened.
And now in the middle lane, Sanji and both Yaoi's HP doesn't look too good. That was a 3 versus 4, technically speaking.
Just shows you just the level of power that Donut has in his hands right now, right? He's already got his 1 item power spike in that BOD. I'm not seeing any pairs of pants being built on anybody from the side of Echo just yet.
Yeah, that's a lot of damage in the early game for Donut, and that's what you expect from a Brody, right? You want him to be able to farm up as fast as he can in this early game, look for more objectives in terms of towers perhaps, but despite that, right? Despite what we want, it doesn't seem... Oh, wait a minute, Yaoi!
Yaoi's gonna be going down by the hands of Donut because of the torn apart memory. But unfortunately, he's gonna be traded out. Seacat joins into the fray, brings Sanji down, and that is a... What kind of trade is that? Is that good? Is that bad?
Honestly, it's pretty terrible trade for the side of Echo's side, right? Because again, ATM is going to continue just holding this lane hostage against Sanford, who is honestly making no leeway. He's got the combo points now. He doesn't have his ultimate, thankfully, but Sanford, it's getting dangerously low.
I don't think that either one is going to go down unless ATM actually overextends, but that forces Sanford to work onto the flicker. ATM even still has the flicker, so if he wants to go back in, technically he can. Oh, the execution in did not clip onto ATM. What a waste.
This is interesting. Echo doesn't feel like
Echo.
they're playing like Echo.
Right.
It's a little bit uncharacteristic of these players so far with the way things have panned out in the first 6 minutes of the game. Burnix Flash now going against the next objective.
As now the Deadly Cash forces its way through Echo. Kaltizi has only got one thing in sight, and that is the turtle.
Do you like how my curse works?
What?
Right? I was like, Echo's not playing like Echo, and then Carl Teasy gets the turtle.
I don't know how many of those you still have in you, because you're going to have to do it a lot if Burnix Flash is going to be playing like the way they are. They're trading well against a team like Echo, and that's what I like to see when you're playing it against them, right? You can't let Echo get away with everything. You need to make them fight for every bit of space that they take.
I feel like Eterna is really just trying to get herself back in the hearts of the Filipinos, right? You know, we're still
What did I do?
I mean, you know, just leave it be. Just Burnex Flash, we chose Burnex Flash, we kept to the Burnex Flash.
Whoa.
But speaking of Burnex Flash, that was actually pretty darn good onto Kaltizi. They almost caught him out. But unfortunately, it is a last lot of thrall. It does have the Phantom Execution. Getting away is just that easy.
You know, I want to talk about this, right? I want to talk about Carl Teasy, his Phantom Executions and all that, right? Because when it comes to the neutral objective takes, Chama has done quite a good job so far, right? Because he's able to use that ultimate, that deadly catch, to be able to just stave off the members of Echo. But it seems like that's not a big deterrent for them.
No, I mean, Carl Teasy, he's got iframes to work with, and let's also not forget that deadly catch is rather slow in terms of a quote-unquote projectile speed. ATM, though,
is holding the ground. He's holding his ground pretty darn well. D7, oh boy, you are not gonna go back home. ATM is going to be holding up to the front against 4 other person, and he's not going down just yet. He can immediately drop the RWN, clears out the entire creep wave, and they only lost the D7. I think that's not so bad, unless Echo goes in like that, unless they immediately jump on and collapses onto Chama.
Yeah, 3 members taken down on the side of Burn X Flash. Echo now just really picking up the pace. Meanwhile, Benikudi having just the time of his life in the top side. Farming, and farming, getting more objectives on the board here for Echo. And it feels like that's just the constant storyline for Echo. Benikudi just really focused on that.
Yeah, personally, I just like the fact I would love to be in Samford's shoes because he's just kind of existing right now. He doesn't need to do anything too crazy. He just needs to clean up the fight after all the abilities are out because prior to that, he's just looking for flanks. But until he is unlocked from his lane, which they finally do after cracking both tier 1s, now he can start looking for these angles. Now he can really start hunting for D7 and Donut.
As Seacat pops off the RWM, the Deadly Catch appears and clips onto Sanji. The first person taken down, but Sanford joins in from behind. He wanted to bring Shima down, but I don't think that it's going to be that easy. But certainly Evil Eagle connects, but Kaltizi is going to be the one to bring down the Lord. As such, that is going to be Echo, with the first Lord of the game marching right in. Unfortunately, Echo lost too.
Yeah, Burnex Flash, they're angry right now. They're looking for any trades that they can do on the map. The fact that they lost the Lord isn't too surprising, realizing that Chima is a level below of Carl TZ right now. But if they keep trading like this, if Echo keeps getting the objectives, but they lose the team fights, this is looking a little deja vu for me.
I agree. It is starting to look a little deja vu. The question is, how do they close out the game, especially with the high ground heroes that we see from the side of Burn X Flash? Like Eve is going to be absolutely great at clearing out these waves, and the same can also be said for the fact that they have, I mean, Donut may not be the best, but at least when it comes down to single targets like Lord, he can actually hurt. Everybody else is kind of just there to exist.
Everyone congregates in the middle lane. They want to bring down this first tier defense turret. ATM is doing his absolute best to defend it all. Kaltizi, he's poking in. Sanji, he's not poking. He goes in with a deadly intent.
Man, Echo just doing the Echo special. No, the Filipino special, right? The fact that they're able to play around these buffs really, really well, just depriving Chima of anything he can grasp his hands on. Still a 4,000 gold lead. Doesn't seem like they have much to say about this because, you know, they committed onto Donut. Donut on the Brody.
Yep, and they're going to continue doing so, right? I mean, look at this. ATM, he's going to walk up, he's going to basically get chunked.
He's not going to survive all of that. Echo, they are fast and they are a team with a lot of damage. Let's be honest here. Even though ATM did manage to survive in the bottom lane and just holding the lane for damn long, Echo does have a 5,000 gold lead, and this is the point in time where they are getting their power spikes.
Yeah, because of that gold lead, we see that Carl TZ actually opts for endless battle. What's that mean?
Yep, it means that he knows that he has a lead. He knows that he can threaten the backline, especially for Donut. He's got iframes to work with to make sure that the corrosive strike, when he tries to go for that stun, good luck. As long as I have my Thorn Rose, I can make something happen. He's got a lot of kill threat, and that's the important thing, right? Because if we're looking in terms of quote-unquote damage, Bane, he's going for pretty much, he has the War Axe. That's probably the only damage item he's going to go for, but he's generally trying to go for Brute Force Breastplate, and as well as the Athena Shield to rather survive the onslaught coming at him. That's why when you first saw the initial interaction when Samford was looking to flank, double punches Chima, he barely felt it, and he was like, you know what, I don't want to mess with this.
The entire team of Echo, they want to steal away the purple buff. Did they manage it to? No. Unfortunately, they couldn't. Shima took the turtle away. Took the purple buff away. Grand Theft Purple, not quite working out, but at least they have the priority over the Lord, which will be coming out in 12 seconds in.
But you know, now that I think about it, right? Sure, right? Donut doesn't scale as well, right? But they do still have D7 and CCAT to kind of fall onto, right? Because in the later stages of the game, they are going to try to use Diggy to not just open up information, but try and utilize those bombs and those stacks to be able to just, you know, chunk Echo a little bit slower. But what is this?
Yep, holding them hostage.
Cat's not in the fight, he's slowly walking in, but holding him hostage, yeah, because the wave is just eventually gonna crash in. And Echo, you're waiting for the perfect prime time.
Oh!
How did he do that? Echo now is at the beckoning of Burn X Flash, and now Yaoi has to run away after being caught within the RWM. Donut takes the kill, Lord fights for them. Moving on in the northern side.
That trigger discipline that we have been waiting for. Burn X Flash now being able to punch Echo a little bit here in the 13th minute of the game. They get the Lord, they take Yaoi down. This is a step in the right direction.
This is the equalizer, in a matter of fact. They will be able to get a lot of structural gold out from Echo's side, and that's going to even out the last 3.8 deficit that they were missing earlier. Echo, they literally just hit the 42k mark, so they literally just got their item power spike, and unfortunately they didn't force it onto Burnix Flash pre-Lord, and I think that's something they probably should have considered. But at the end of the day, this is not a make it or break it for Echo, because as we go to the later stages, Sanji, he is strong. Carl TZ is already naturally strong, but CCat, he's catching up quick. And let's not forget that Donut is going for Weapon Master, so in terms of scaling, he can actually get to a point where he is compatible against someone like Benny QT on a Claude.
Yeah, there's a little bit more to work with, right? Because usually when we see Brody on the killing spree.
Yep.
So, Crazy.
Easy. Doesn't seem like he's gonna be too faulted about the fact that Burnix Flash wants his skin. But he does have a lot of charges, and he did manage to melt down D7. That's all of the stacks that this Diggy have lost. And that is really unfortunate.
Yeah, Carl TZ is going damage, right? We see Endless Battle, we see Hunter Strike as well. Is this a safe thing to go for? I mean, they did just get a pick off.
I mean, it's going to get more and more volatile as the game goes on, right? Let's look at the item builds one more time, because in terms of just raw power and raw damage, we're noticing that both Samford and as well as Cartesi have the same goal in mind. Try to have a lot of kill threat to kill either D7 or force out his ult. And if they can get any resources with the kill threat because of the item builds that they have, that's great for them. It makes people's jobs easier, especially for Betty QD, who wants to go in, but can't as long as those two ultimates are in play. If not, 3 ultimates in play, including the real world manipulation.
4.4 gold lead right now here for the side of Echo. There's not a lot of action going around because, of course, there isn't too much of an objective take to go for, but it really depends on these side lanes, right? How are they going to manipulate it? How are they going to set up for this next Lord? I think that's going to be very important coming into the next few seconds of the game.
I would really have hoped that Burnix Flash was able to make a little bit more use, or rather get more value out of the Lord. Naturally, first Lord equals to, you would want to have all the outer turrets destroyed. But unfortunately, that Lord only amounted to 2.
I mean, at the end of the day, whether it's 2 or 1, you're still coming up close towards the ultra late stages, or at the very least the later stages of the game, which is more than enough, right? Because, look, the side lane is already gone. You still want to contest for this upcoming neutral objective. The Lord spawns again, and this can basically guarantee you an inhibitor turret. It's difficult for Donut to walk up.
ATM rushes
Oh
himself
my God.
right into the face of Echo. Sanji's HP not looking well, but he survived, or rather barely breathing, to be honest. ATM is still holding down to the front. He is still very beefy. Shamar is waiting onto the side and waiting for the perfect opportunity to run right in. Yaoi, the airline's coming in. He crashes onto ATM. This puts Yaoi in not a very good spot. As such, Donut takes the kill onto Yaoi. We focus onto Shamar now. He's holding on to 2. ATM flickers in. Gets a taunt onto 2. Kaltizi going down. Immortality broken. And now another taunt to put on top of him. Donut getting himself the killing spree. And now finally Sanji joins in the fray after healing, only to find himself sacrificing himself or throwing himself, feeding over to the fire. The Orcas are getting scalded. And Betty Cutie pulls right back
Sanford?
by the reverse time. And Sanford finds himself absolutely demolished.
The Orcas get wiped out here in the 17th minute of the game. This is not looking good at all. Tama is going to be able to get this Lord uncontested. And finally, Burnix Flash, they are striking back.
Can't disrespect a Brody with Weapon Master. He scales so much harder than you believe. When he gets his 4th item, that's a lot more numbers compared to if he had Killing Spree, in addition to the emblems that he has. And now they're looking to try and end this.
This is amazing as CCat drops the RWM. He keeps Kaltizi inside. Sanji's completely going to be pushed away, but the rest of the BXF focus on the throne. We get the first win from Burn at Flash.
A 1-1 right now here between both of these teams. Neither want to go down without a fight. It really
Man, a sudden turnaround by Burn. It wasn't huge, but Echo was kinda in the lead on that fight. But sudden turnaround from Burn and quickly ending the fight. Right? Echo was kinda leading there. Is Alpha meta right now? Yeah, Alpha is one of the metas right now because of the changes they did.
Covers such a wide range of the hero pool of Echo.
I agree with that. I agree with that. With Sanford being forced on the Bakito, with what we see Yaoi on the Matilda, these are two picks that are new to Echo here at MSC, and unfortunately still sitting at a 0% win rate. LaFell, my guy, what happened there?
My dudes. Looking at the camera, we see Burnix Flash. They're doing this. You know what this means?
No.
No.
Goosebumps. They're feeling goosebumps, right? Because they're like, yo, guys, feel my arms. My hair is rising because I gotta say, Donut looked like a bagel just now because he looked like a Brody with Inspire. He was moving so fast. Like, I don't know, man. This Donut is the fastest Donut I've ever seen. To be fair, I've not seen a lot of fast Donuts.
He is quick. He is quick. His positioning is incredible, and I think overall it's just underestimating the emblem of Weapon Master on a Brody, because again, it's not a very common way to actually build Brody, because it takes quite a while before you feel like he's actually doing something, and half the time you would imagine that Brody's early game would be better.
You know what? I understand now. I completely understand why he's called Donut. Because he's
Why?
putting a hole into everyone. Look at the heroes he's using. The Leslie, the Brody. He finds the hole and he puts his damage through it. You know what I mean? You know
Everybody
what I
is a target. He just needs
Everybody's
to hit
target.
right through the center.
Exactly. Thank you very much, Gideon. This is why he got the title of best friend.
Come on, guys, keep up.
He finds a hole and puts his damage through it. Not the best word combinations there. So Donut finding holes and penetrating them.
Fortunately for people like Sanford, he can't really threaten him. Even Carlteasy, as far ahead as he was looking more towards Diggy than he was the Bane.
Look at that. Donut is moving so fast. I kind of felt like he was using a Joe. He was using the Matilda because of that movement speed. But speaking of those two heroes, I got to talk about ATM on the Fredrin as well as Yaoi on the Matilda. But since we're here looking at the page, Fredrin on the, ATM on the Fredrin, what do you think, Abstract?
Honestly, he's a beast.
He's a beast.
He's been holding off the lane for the longest time ever and pretty much keeping Sanford in the lane, even though Sanford is playing.
Well, there we go. What do you guys think? Donut the whole fight. We're gonna blame the caster on this one. It didn't. Donut the hole finder. Donut putting holes. Even if you don't have one. Even if you don't have one, Donut will put a hole through you. On you. So can Echo answer back? It's 1-1 now. 1-1. It was surprising how Burn was able to turn that around so quick with just one failed clash coming from Echo. And they were also able to hunt down the other two guys remaining. Elgin pause. Donut fill my hole. Hi Drix, Drixes. Ooh, come on guys, show us the audience. We're waiting for it. Are they gonna make an... I think we're gonna have an interview on this parts. Well, there's an intermission on the game. Probably, hopefully we should see Mara again. What a great commentary. Yeah, props to that caster. Props to that caster. For Donut is a munchkin. Is Pakita in the meta right now? Not really. Not really. Who do you think is gonna win on game 3? Hard to say, but if we're just... Echo was dominating the first game. An easy win on Echo. Echo was actually leading again on the game 2. It's just that they made a big mistake on that last clash. So if we're gonna base it on that, I think it's gonna be Echo. But who knows? A good surprise is always welcome, especially coming from Burn. Burn was doing quite good all throughout the MSC, probably because it's their hometown. Not hometown, it's their home turf. So, but so that's what you call it show. Pakita was a bad pick. Yeah, Elgin ni boss. Backpack. What's backpack? Iori senpai. Ooh, are we gonna have an interview now? What? Ads? ROG7? How much is ROG7? 80,000? Or 5.8? 5.8 king. Hay nako, ang tagal. You're showing ads. Do we have the money to buy that? Not really. If you have ROG7, what game will you play? It's $800? 2K USD? I don't think that's just $800, man. Ooh, chair. What's this? Soft weave plus fabric. Next level breathability. It has its very own spine. This chair has its very own spine. You can probably play better. You can reach mythical glory with this chair. Secret collab. Claude Autolus. The only time Claude really did good on this MSC once was when he was able to split push. Is it basic? NA got eliminated quite fast on the MSC, right? $800. I don't think that's even $800. It's definitely higher than $800, man. Yeah, buy the chair so that you can reach mythical glory. What's the most balanced hero? That's hard to say, man. Most balanced hero? Kinda hard to say. Also, it's hard to answer those questions. Like, who's the best hero? Who's the most balanced? It's really quite debatable. If I had stuff like that, I would have been pro, right? Oh yeah, Cho, who received thousands of nerf, right? Cho kept on getting nerfed and nerfed and nerfed, but you still see Cho getting played within this high rank tournaments, probably because of the game style. Despite getting all those nerfs, to be able to pick off an opponent and then kick them towards her allies, I guess is just really something that you can't replace. Is there another hero that almost has the same mechanics as Cho? Cho had been nerfed multiple times but still being used within these tournaments. Yeah, I see. What's the nerf on Arlott anyways? Arlott is still being banned despite that. It wasn't that big. The hell? All these ads. Show us the audience. The interview. NACT. That's when they... Ooh, that issue with the NA. Well, that's done now anyways. Anyways, M5 is gonna be big. M5. I wonder if Mobazane can join the M5. Yeah, we're gonna be streaming the we're gonna be streaming the finals tomorrow around 7 p.m. The game starts. Probably 7 p.m. Yeah, because it's gonna be big. I was kinda hoping for a rematch on Blacklist versus Echo, but Onyx proved to be the better team. So we're also gonna be excited to watch that. Onyx versus Blacklist. Pakito Jungle will be possible? I'm not sure. Actually, everything is possible. If you want it. It's just that, is there any other, are there more efficient options? Who knows, maybe Jungler Pakito is possible. It's just that you do have better options. So most of the guys will go for that better option. Elgin reaction to Echo fighting for third place. Well, the fact that Onyx really beat them, so they'd have. That's what really happened. I know a lot of the guys had high expectations for Echo, but you have to give it to them though. Echo did good as well. Echo did put up a good fight against Onyx, and you can't really say that Echo was lacking in terms of their gameplay, because that last match against Onyx was just insane. Onyx was also playing on a high level, so you can't really blame Echo that, Onyx was a tough opponent. And as you can see, just small mistakes from those matches, from those clashes, can result in a win or a loss. Why is Bruno not really in the meta right now? Probably. Will you smash Mitsuri from Demon Slayer? Echo, true. I know, right? Carl TZ did really well. Although on Carl, yeah, 100% red 3 on that third match. Although Kyrie's red 3 was also on point on game 1 and 2. But on game 3, he said it himself that as a Lancelot user, he can only dash and not red 3. Why does he have a Sting jacket? Is that sponsored? So that's probably sponsored by Sting. Sting gave a thumbs up on that one because they will be blurring that if it didn't. Yeah, it's 301. You have to jacket, please. Oh, Ayok requesting for an Elgin and the Boys jacket. That's probably the color of our jacket. Most likely, Ayok, is gonna be red and black. Like the logo. What's more red or red, black, yellow? How much can we? Ooh, really? Sting is a very popular drink here in Cambodia. Sting, I almost died on Sting, man. I almost died on drinking too much Sting. Sting needs to sponsor me as well. I almost lost my life on Sting. It gets the job done though. Sting gets the job done. Whenever we have like a deadline for something, when we have a deadline for a specific video, Sting gets the job done. Baka naman, Sting. So here we go. Drafting phase. We're gonna shut up. No Prime. Is Prime good? Some people are saying Prime is crap. So here we go. We're gonna shut up and check out the draft pick. We need the engine.
It's like it is going to be Echo on that first pick. They even panned out the Diggy. Interesting.
Yeah, they want opportunities to actually bring out that team fight. They
I'm the
want to be
power
able to
of
punch
light
their
incarnate.
opponents. Ooh, wait.
Joy?
Yeah, Joy's looking mighty fine unless they want to go for that Frederick. Yep, Frederick gets locked on in, and Burnix Flash, they got some good options. But they're, wow, Joy, straight off the bat, and they
That's
pattern her
fast.
up with Valentina. So quick.
Joy, man, like everyone loves the Joy, but it's so annoying. Like, not the tankiest of heroes, but the moment you see Joy dance, you're so surprised, you immediately go back to the base.
I mean, it can be a mild inconvenience at times, and others pretty exhausting to deal with.
But now we see a switch here, a switch up, right? Arlet being picked up here in the first phase, and this is what we talked about. Does it warrant an early Sanford pick? Not really sure. Is this Arlet for Sanford? I mean, I'm assuming so for
Yeah.
Echo, right?
Because I'm not thinking that
There's no flex here, right?
there's no way
flex.
this is Arlet Gold.
Or Rome.
Arlet Jungle?
Oh my
Franco
God.
mid. Let's
Franco Gold.
let's not go crazy here, ladies and
So
gentlemen.
this is how Todat drafts. That makes sense.
Garo TZ, Jungle Fredrin, Arlet EXP Lane, and Franco Gold. I mean Rome.
I mean, it's pretty straightforward. I think this draft is going to start falling into a place where everybody's very... Again, this is a very typical draft pattern. We've seen this many times before, especially if you start with the Fredrin very early on this year. And then we see the carry to follow up, right? 3 potential tanks that you can shred down, plenty of true damage, and abuses the fact that you have max HP. It seems like a no-brainer.
Speaking of no-brainer, I have no thoughts. Kadita getting banned out. This does show that they're really making sure that Donut doesn't get punished very heavily. Now I gotta go with the moniker of Donut again, because his signature heroes are like the Beatrix, the Leslie, the Brody, very long range, very high burst, which is kind of like the opposite here with Carry, very short range and very attack speed dependent. I wonder, like, again, I'm pretty sure Donut can play both ways, but maybe a little bit risky here for, in my opinion.
Yes, I
Novaria.
do think I do think it is risky, but there is a possibility that this Joy might get thrown into the jungle and they lock in Glue here.
Glue's been banned.
Glue's been banned. All right, I'm just dumb. But at the end of the day, right? Why ban out the farm?
I agree, by the way, just saying,
But yeah, but why ban out the farm is at this stage of the game, right? I think it's pretty straightforward that even no matter what Echo gets, even if they get the insurance policy, they still have the IMU coming in from the Valentina. So what warrants getting rid of the farm is when they can technically look for something even worse, right?
I honestly, right now, okay, let me just take a look at another thing. Echo, at this point in time, they still don't have their mage, and we have seen before that Burnix Flash love to pick the Natalia into the Novaria, and Novaria seems to work really well with these current heroes.
debut pick, the Barats. How many heroes has it been now? 62 heroes? 61, 62? Yes, I've been keeping score by the way. And now Echo, they're going up with the Novaria and Beatrix. Usually we see in the first 3 picks, both heroes, 76 and 78% ban rate.
Yeah, and it's not just the combo between Novaria and Beatrix, right? But this is in addition to the Franco that Yaoi is going to be piloting. But, hello? Did somebody call Blacklist onto the scene?
Dude, Blacklist Echo! Echo has been with the Blacklist quite a lot, so maybe not, Echo's like, they know how to handle this.
But look, okay, we are talking about how epic this is. Estes coming in, very ube. They are going to group around S5, but they're going against a composition that's so good at pickoff, which is exactly what Echo can just play to.
It really does. And I mean, Echo, they are experts in their own field, but at least we see why the Farmers was warranted for a ban. They want to stick close together. The Ghost Bursters does exactly that, multiplying the damage according to how many people is going to get caught in that blast. So at the very least, we have some leads, and I think especially for Echo, this might get a little difficult here, but it's about the mechanics. It's about being able to force out the essences all either early or punishing him for walking up.
We'll see, ladies and gentlemen. Burnex Flash with the Ube strategy. But people claim Echo is the kryptonite to that. We'll see exactly how this pans out as we dive into the Land of Dawn for game number 3 between Burnex Flash as well as Echo. And there you go. Very aggressive.
Yeah, very aggressive and actually a very bold decision as well from the side of Burnex Flash to Ube against Echo. Especially since Echo is one of the first few teams to actually dismantle the Ube strat.
A lot of these pickoffs is going to be, again, Yaoi just looking for opportunities to pull out D7 because, again, nobody else can really take that damage. Unless ATM's an absolute god and tries to, like, go for the dash into the hook to try and cancel it out. That would be pretty impressive if he can do that consistently. But even then, there is a large margin of human error.
Definitely. I completely agree here. But, oh man, I don't know. I mean, everyone from Echo is on their comfort pick, right? Yaoi's win rate, hook rate rather, on the Franco has just been insane. Earlier on, is there anything that we need to look out for, perhaps, in terms of equipment?
In terms of equipment, let's have a quick look around. Nope, nothing too out of the ordinary just yet. It's just the fact that Yaoi's Iron Hooks get closer and closer every time he throws them out. It's going to get dangerous. In terms of emblems, let's have a quick sneak peek here. Nothing too out of the ordinary. Baras is going to hopefully guys pull yourself together coming out from D7. And I think it's fair, right? At the end of the day, it's all about trying to influence the lanes now. Now, first rotation coming up to the top side for the side of Burnex Flash to try and punish Samford.
I don't think that this is going to result too much for the side of Burnex Flash. They do want to show a little bit of aggression in the top lane. In the meantime, they also understand that the turtle is important. Neutral objective is important. And when it comes down to this kind of setup, they would want the Estes to be at level 4 as well. But D7, he's not quite there yet. Just a sliver to level 4.
There you go.
And there we go. With the level 4, he's unstoppable. The entire team of Burnex Flash is probably going to be unstoppable. But in the meantime, that is going to be Yaoi that did manage to get a hook on down. But Shamar, he still went down and he still died despite the blessing of the Moonlight Goddess. And Echo even gotten the turtle.
Yeah, so Echo gets a kill. Echo gets a hook.
That is a goodbye to... No, never mind. Good flicker and good run.
Yeah, unfortunately there. Oh my god, top.
He doesn't have enough mana.
I don't think that that's gonna result too much. ATM versus Sanford, these two matchups, I can't imagine any one of them dying based on the matchup and even based on the skill level.
All right, let's go back, right? Because Echo was able to get the turtle. They were able to get a kill onto Chama there, so that was a huge win for Echo as well. Unfortunately, there in the mid side, even though Yaoi was able to get the pick, unfortunately, Sanji just didn't have the right tools to be able to execute that. But that is something of what we can expect from the gameplay of Echo here in the early game, especially now that, you know, Yaoi has already reached that level for Moment as well. So expect things to be a little bit more crazier, realizing that Benny is also on the Beatrix.
I thought that with the Estes at level 4, that would have been the best fight that Burnex Flash could have had for the turtle. Considering the fact that Echo, there's no way that they will be able to try to bring down the level of healing from D7. This is probably the most amount of healing that D7 can provide to the Barat, yet Barat still died.
Yeah, I mean, first of all, D7, he's not going to be able to move as quickly out of this lane. The priority comes into play, and Benny QT is able to force that, unlike their dual Donut in D7 on the bot side of the map. ATM and Sanford have been having a lot of these fist fights up on the top, but at the end of the day, that Daytona's welcome coming in from Rots got cancelled out, and that's when Echo starts turning the tides.
And you can see that being, you know, reflected onto the economy lead that they have actually built for themselves, right? Already 1,000 here in the first 4 minutes of the game. Seems like when it comes down to map pressure, it's quite equal, but you can see that both of these teams, with how aggressive that both of these teams want to be playing, they are centering their focus on the next objective.
The turtle currently pulled towards the side of Echo. ATM pushes forward and it will want to take down the turtle. Unfortunately, Kaltizi is the one that takes the turtle. Final slash that will put D7 in not a very good spot. The rest of the members from the side of Echo will want to burst down ATM, but that's a nice snipe. The Echo Spear connects down onto ATM, which tried to run away. Kaltizi left with not a lot of help to work with. Yaoi immediately gets a hook down onto C-Can and flickers himself towards the turret.
Yeah, 1-for-1 trade, but Echo still pick up the turtle. You're right, right? I mean, D7 gonna be able to use that ultimate. He's been utilizing it a lot better so far. A lot of sustain coming in from his team. But I feel like, you know, I've been on the Estes quite some time now, and it feels like in the early game, the healing's not just there. It feels like he's a little bit reliant on those items.
Yep, he is going to be reliant on his items, and not to mention that he probably wants to stack up as quickly as he can to activate the blessing, sorry, not the blessing of the Moon Goddess, but his roam blessing in this particular case, right? To actually multiply the amount that you actually get with the flat amount of healing that you get on top of it. So it really just boils down to how you position in these fights. And I think, you know, Yahweh is doing a really good job at coming in from many different angles. He's not standing in one place and just camping it all the time. He's making sure that he changes it up. The conditioning starts from minute number 1. And since we're 5 minutes in, at least for Yahweh, he is making sure that he's not wasting any time being at one place at one time. He wants to influence the map as much as he possibly can.
And on top of that, right, nobody from the side of Burnix Flash brought the Purify, so let's go. Oh, see, there you go.
Steppy hook onto C-Cat. Bring him down almost immediately, and Carry is stuck in the bottom lane. This is more or less a great spot for Echo to start moving and pushing the turrets.
Pick off pressure, pick off pressure, pick off pressure is what Echo just really want to play around, right? They don't really have to go for any crazy engages just yet. Maybe they want to wait for Sanji to get online for the moment, because when we saw that in-game equipment, he's only built in that Clock of Destiny. I think it takes a little bit more, but again,
A hook and made. D7 go for a flicker as soon as he can. That is very much worth it, as Yaoi didn't even have to use the flicker on that. Shama, Detona's welcome, connected down onto Kaltizi, but that pretty much means that it's pretty much a 4 versus 3 fight. Great hook coming in, but the blessing of the Moon Goddess will keep everyone sustainable, alive. Echo, they're not interested in the fight, they got the turtle.
I mean, look at that. D7 when he's running in and pops down his blessing of the Moon Goddess. Oh!
Big hook once again, suppressing down on Shama. He's dead. No way that D7 can heal him up.
Ah, that's so annoying. It's so annoying, but Yaoi keeps finding these really, really good hooks. His conditioning is especially key, not only towards just D7, but also making sure that if anybody decides to overstep their boundaries, they can just punish them almost instantaneously if the follow-up is nearby. Yaoi is extremely intelligent with his hooks, right? He is making sure that he's not only targeting, hey, I noticed that you keep on positioning or sidestepping towards the right side, but you start switching it up after this minute, and they're going to memorize that over the length of this game. Now let's come back to D7, right? Every single time he is out of position, he must flicker into place to make sure that he gets the maximum effect with the Blessing of the Moon Goddess, but that's when Echo can look to bounce back. Sanford, I'm keeping a very close eye on him. That final slash could be extremely key to actually opening up the team fights, or more importantly so, punishing Burnix Flash once they have used the Blessing of the Moon Goddess to kind of pull them back into the fight.
yeah, displacement as well, right? I think they're going to move up as 5, and that's exactly what Arlott wants. Going to be able to get a good initiation engage. So, like you mentioned before, timing is going to be very important. But Donut?
Immediately with the retribution to lock down the Donut as much as he can, even with the appraisal trap, brings down Carry just so easily. Now that is a little bit of an overextension coming in from Donut. He didn't really quite understand where everyone else is. But in the meantime, big final slash coming from Sanford, focusing all over to the backlines on the side of Burnix Flash. D7 will want to fight back against Bandicuity, but now he's gonna go down. We've got ATM that still wants to hold on the front lines. Rhythm of Joy keeps him alive. D7 is still alive as well.
Told you, final slash, pull him back into the fight, and then you can start following up all over again. Ideally, Kaltizi probably should have been on that right side to kind of follow up and lock them down for even longer, but somebody has to face Chima, and, well, it's got to be him. He's the only one who's tough enough to actually maintain his lead. I mean, he's level 12 compared to level 10, and let's not forget, ATM, at least he was able to kind of recover 1 kill onto Ben QT at the end of the day, but doesn't change the fact that Burnix Flash have to play this very passive role and approach towards Echo.
And it feels like that seems difficult for their playstyle, their personality, right? Burnix Flash, like their name, they really like to go for these engages. They are at kind of a disadvantage, which, like you mentioned, is Chima being under-leveled here. But what is that damage? Do they really want to contest for this Lord?
For sure, D7's just gonna top him up like you're going through a toll, and now you're back all the way towards that Lord. This is going to be a full 5v5 fight, so don't blink just yet, unless Burnix Flash decide not to, but it doesn't feel like they should back away.
I don't think that Echo is necessarily going to commit fully with this Lord just yet. Oh, never mind, as we do have the suppress. It's not a knockup coming from the side of Lord. Shamar takes the Lord away from the hands of Echo. The Detonus welcome, unfortunately, is dispelled by the fact that Kaltizi runs away. Donut gets a kill. Benny Cutie gets a kill. There's a lot of tracers coming all around the place. Echo is 3% down. ATM eventually manages to push himself forward, advances, and now Burnix Flash, they've got the Lord, they've got the first to defense turret, heck, maybe even more.
3-4-1 trade, and it could amount to more here. And this is the power that ATM has when he gets this joy.
It's they're about to lose an inhibitor turret here, unless, I mean, Sanji, he's got to be able to clear these waves fast. They're going to spawn up. They will be able to hold up at their inhibitors, and that's great enough. But let's cut back into this replay and look at it one more time. When did it go wrong? Because again, you're 2 levels down. Realistically, that shouldn't be the case. We see that Shima starts walking up, and immediately Kaltizi is able to dash out of range, but the Blessing of the Moon Goddess allows the entire team to kind of power through the damage that Benny QT is providing for the rest of his team. And I will say that the Nibiru's Passion slightly late on the draw, probably wanted it to pop it a little bit earlier to help the neutral objective, but at the end of the day, it's still Shima who walks away with that Lord.
That is definitely a tough fight for Echo, and I don't think that they would want to reenact that again. This doesn't feel like what Echo would have done in a fight if they were to face against Blacklist International. But I gotta say, Burnix Flash, they know the Ube, they understand how they want to play the Ube. And carry is only 3 items in, with the Corrosive Scythe as well as the Golden Staff and the Wind of Danger. It kind of seems as though he's still pack a long punch.
Yeah, Donut's still doing a lot of damage, right? Even so, and as this game progresses, Donut is gonna have even more damage, especially to the front lines that Echo has committed onto. Kaltizi is going to be in danger. Sanford, when he tries to go in for these engages, it's going to be all or nothing with the commitment that they've actually come to.
And that's assuming that, you know, they're going for that all in. For all intents and purposes, Sanji is just going to be farming up the damage stats pretty much the entirety of the game with the Astral Spheres, but he's getting that top up from the side of Burnix Flash, the continuous top up, in a matter of fact, from D7. Oh, can already hear the crowd trying to give some encouragement towards Burnix Flash, because right now the game isn't really in their hands, right? For all intents and purposes, Burnix Flash don't want to be the one to engage first.
I don't know about this, right? Do you think that Echo has the better teamfight comp? Because looking at it in a general scale, looking at it in the big picture, it feels like that's exactly what Burnix Flash wants.
Yep, that's exactly what Burnix Flash wants. I mean, Echo, yes, they can teamfight, right? But the main players in these teamfights is going to be Kaltizi, Sanford, Benny QT, and sometimes even Sanji. But that's assuming that his abilities are up. He can only do it one at a time, and sometimes the AoE, you just have to be conveniently standing one on top of each other, no matter how good your aim actually is when you're utilizing these skill shots, right? So I think what it is going to come down to is just dancing around this Lord, and a lot of dancing. Wait, Yaoi.
Does seem like it comes in from the side, immediately locked down to ATM, but look at the amount and disgusting amount of heal. He's gonna be staying all right. The Rhythm of Joy from the side of ATM will be able to open up the map enough in order to scout out where Yaoi and Sanji is. The entire team of Echo is just gonna be falling back, and I don't think that they will be capable of taking down this fight. Kaltizi goes to the stomach of Shamar. They're all gonna be pounding down onto him. Kaltizi goes down, Benny Cutie flicks it away, but that is all just completely wasted.
What is going on? What is going on with Echo in this game? Is it Burnix Flash just burning up in terms of their performance? Or is Echo underperforming here?
I think they understand that they can't get through this healing, right? There's just too much. Unfortunately, they haven't come to a point where they can look to completely one-shot. And now with Lord crashing down on this inhibitor turret, this could be the end.
And Host connects down on the Shamar, suppressing him down. Big final slash coming from the side of Sanford, but where's the follow-up? Where's the damage coming from? ATM is dead, but the rest of the members from the side of Destroy will definitely want to follow up onto the core. He's slowly tickling down, but unfortunately, they are going too much on the core. They let the entire team of Echo pummel them down.
Did you hear the crowd just cheer on Burnix Flash? And maybe even Echo in that engage This could definitely be the turning point though for Echo because perhaps they kind of misplayed that?
Would I call it a misplay?
Deja vu, rather.
I would say it's more like deja vu, right? Because I'm looking at D7, he didn't have his flicker at that point of time, even his ult also. I would question whether it's actually usable at that point because Sanford came up pretty huge with that final slash, right? Able to displace the right amount of targets to fall up with Sanji to make sure that his damage is effective. Let's look at the instant play run one more time. Let's see if I missed something out here, right? We see ATM already with the ult. Sanford tries his absolute best and yes, the camera doesn't catch him out perfectly, but we do notice that in the meantime, Benny QT is able to walk up right after he spawns, instantly capitalize on the time bought by the rest of his teammates, and they finish off both Dona as well as D7 in quick succession.
And on top of that, right, now we're going in the 15th minute of the game, right? Things are getting a little bit more even, I would say, right? Echo is reaching the points where they are going to come online. We see that items are being built. They're getting to that point. Sanji already has a Divine Glaive. It feels like that's going to change the dynamics of the team fights. But what I still feel is a little bit iffy or sus is that Echo still wants to commit on these 5v5 team fights. I understand that Echo does have it in their kit to go for that, right? They have the AoE with Sanford, Karl Tze even Benny as well as Sanji, but against the sustainability that D7 gives them, is it still wise to go 5v5? Why don't they just go for pickoff?
I mean, a lot of it depends on Yawi, right? He's the only person who can realistically do that. Sanford, with that final slash, unless he is able to thread the needle with just the tip of that sword to maybe pick somebody off, sure, I suppose that's a possibility. But just know that Shuma is there right at the front. He is looking to eat these hooks. He's very happy to eat the iron hooks, and the same can be said for ATM, right? He doesn't necessarily have to play as 5. He can technically be on the side and wait for the opportunity to go back in. But we've seen what happens, right? Oh, try to pick me off. D7's gonna flicker for him to save his life.
It's so tough.
It's not easy. It really is a battle of mechanics between the two. The constant push and pull will be the main point of contention, right? Wait, hold on. Look at the setup that we see from Echo.
Benny Cutie? He's all alone at the bottom lane. That sounds very scary, but I think that Yawi actually locked down onto him with the bite. And that is ATM dead. Echo can actually come back and try to find a fight against, Burnex Flash is now in a tough spot.
This is what I was talking about, right? This is what I meant. Pick off. This is what they need to go for.
Iron Hook onto D7, he flickers out. He's gonna be A-okay at least, but the Lord even had to go for a reset.
Ooh, last projectile didn't get hit there, and I think this is great. Now Echo can start fishing once again against Burnex Flash. It's still a 50-50. Ideally they kill Chima, but it just takes way too much time. If they can get CCAT, oh Yawi was close there.
Chima, he's slowly trying to walk himself right in, but the suppression ensures that he would not be able to get the retribution. But before that even happens, Benny Cutie brings him down almost immediately. Terrifies down onto Yawi. The rest of the members for the side of Black Flash wants to punish Echo. They want to ensure that that Lord would not amount to anything by killing them down. But that was the big final slash coming from the side of Sanford. He continues to push on the advantage. Sanford tries to run himself away. He almost got it. ATM wasn't able to come himself right back. CCAT runs away with a quick little dash. D7 left all alone based on the fact that he's got no mobility. It's gonna be left with ATM and CCAT. ATM has to fight the world all alone. He managed to kite away from the Astral Sphere. But let's be honest here. ATM, Shama, CCAT defending against the rest of the world.
I don't know. The adjustment is huge though, right? By the side of Echo. 12 seconds left. They do have time.
That's well, Echo connecting down ATM. He tries to bring down the Sanford, but Shama, he did manage to successfully do so. Echo came in with only one mission, and that is to bring down the inhibitor turret.
With 5 members available from Burnex Flash, it's a lot more difficult, as you can see here, for Echo to get things on the board. Split them up one by one. They are no contest, no feat against the entirety of Echo.
Yep. And I mean, the only way they're going to do that, I personally wish that they were able to get a side inhibitor, not just the middle inhibitor, right? Because mid lane is very easily cleared, and it's honestly always cleared when you're starting these lore dances. I will say though, Sanford, holy cow, that very, very last fight just before the inhibitor fell, he sustained for way too long there. I'm surprised he lived that long, and he's able to pull that off. Now, looking back at the items so far, it's all about building defense and making sure that you live. These immortalities are going to be worth a lot.
All right. Echo still, though, leading with a 4,000 gold lead. But honestly, at this point, 19 minutes, and it's been 19 minutes. Can you imagine? Already a 20-minute game here. Things could go either way. Somehow, Burn X Flash, they need to force a team fight. But the way that Echo have been positioning, like you caught up earlier during that team fight, I feel like that was very intelligent. And you can see that they're trying to replicate the same thing again. 44 seconds are left on the clock. You can see that even Karl'Tezi still at the top side. How are Burn X Flash supposed to bait them in that situation?
Well, ATM, he's going to have to go out of his way to into the side lanes, right? But with the lack of information and considering the last time that ATM ended up dying on the bottom side of the map because of the Bloody Hunt and as well as Benny QT hiding in a bush, I think that even Burn X Flash recognized that maybe we just wait, right? Maybe we just hope that Echo is looking for something bigger. Because these neutral objectives, it's hard to walk up, especially when you have no information whatsoever what's on the top side of the map, and nobody is showing themselves.
Yeah, now the macro game begins, right? The chess play is how I love to see this go. And you know, Echo, they have made a name for themselves. Their macro is usually on point, so it's very exciting to see how they're going to react to it and how Burn X Flash are going to try and challenge that kind of chess play.
Okay, so they're making sure that they're hugging towards that right side. They know that the mid lane is pushed out for now, but they're still keeping very tightly knit. Notice Yaoi's position here because he is going to be the big opener, and if he finds Donut early, this could be a quick ult from D7.
It's all about dragging the Lord away, and Karl'Tezi is doing an impeccable job of doing so. But Next Flash have to really get himself out of their comfort zone, out of the brushes, in order to really get a peek as to what's the health of this Lord. In the meantime, Sanji as well, Yaoi can find the right opportunity to jump right in with the skill snipe. Shamar loses the immortality. He's gonna go straight down, but the suppress actually saved him for just a little bit while Sanford goes in for the start. Shamar still gonna be A-okay. Sanford back into the main lines with not a lot of help to work with. CK comes in from behind. He wants to get a kill down to Sanji. There's still immortality going on. He's going to be all the way behind the enemy's lines. How is this gonna be like? CK stays alive. He's gonna be getting down the immortality on the side of Sanji. Sanford still stays alive as well. He himself alone manages to push the entire team of Echo away. That is absolutely crazy if you ask me. This will allow Echo to re-record himself and get themselves back in this game. Immortality popped from the side of Karl'Tezi. The rest of the Moon Goddess is just going to be popping between every single one of members of
top side!
CXM.
Top side!
Top side! Is this how it's going to end? Is this how it's going to end? Echo, Sanji, and the rest of the group ended out! What? Wait a second! Wait! The Ballista!
That's unlucky. That's so unlucky. Sanji dies, the auto attack is enough, and the minions spawn at the perfect time to push out the rest. How unlucky.
Listen to the crowd roar in this second.
Whoa, whoa,
No, is this really how it's gonna end? Yaoi, Benny QT broke through all odds. They broke through like an Olympic sniper. And then just what a day to end so badly.
Sanford is the only person left standing. Look at the timers, ladies and gentlemen. Karl'Tezi is going to be up. Sanji is going to be up in 10 seconds. 3 of them. Will it be enough?
He's got to pull the Lord. He's got to pull the Lord.
The desperate manipulation of the Lord is what's going to be working for them. As when that Flash immediately with that as well, because they will want to connect on the Karl'Tezi. HP not looking well. Both of them, Karl'Tezi, Sanford, taken down. Burn X Flash. They take this game. They are conducting a medley of death on the terror on the Orcus. This is not the result that many were suspecting.
Absorb the crowd. right now, ladies and gentlemen. I have never heard a roar this passionate in a very long time, if ever. A huge upset for the Orcas. They were seconds, hits away from taking the game. But Burn X Flash were able to take game number 3. Gideon, what is this?
Most would say a miscalculation. To a certain degree, a little unlucky, I'm not gonna lie. Minions, and especially with Sanji, the way that he tried to pull that off at the very end, it was looking so good for him. If only he just swapped his items, got more attack damage, I think he could have finished that off.
Go big or go home moment, isn't it? Go big or go home.
I mean, I understand. Echo wanted to end it as early as possible. But if they played a little bit more patiently, do you think that they could have won that game, Lafel?
Yo, you know what? Here's the thing. I'm just gonna call it, this is a work of fate. God intervened. Because let's face it, right? That was a base race, and let me assure you, ladies and gentlemen, if I could take that camera and I could show you around, this is not a football stadium, but my oh my, does it feel like it.
That's what I was saying, right?
What?
The roars.
Dude, the ground was shaking.
It was actually rumbling
Just
like
vibrations.
we got isekai'd into Shingeki no Kyojin.
The skies was rumbling. Even God was like, you know what, that was a good game. That wasn't it. Like, okay.
We thought that the previous series, we couldn't top that.
I thought Burn X Flash would have thrown. They were in the base. They were standing in Sanji's circle of doom. They all died. And the MVP, D7, 0, 2, and 12. Hoy my mouth!
That means cheer, right?
Yeah, everyone cheer.
Everyone cheer.
Hoy my mouth, D7. Cheer for D7. Oh, what a game. Are you guys speechless?
Yeah.
Do you guys
Very.
want to rest?
I wish
I
we
am
could.
I'm too pumped up.
Yeah,
Dude.
but oh my god, it's just
I took a
It's-
video. You guys were great.
so many series of unfortunate events. The changes to the amount of regeneration you get from that crystal. The fact that, unfortunately, Benecutie just didn't have enough, even with Wesker, to chunk down the last few hits of that turret. No matter what he did, there was nothing that he could realistically do. The recall times as well, they try to cancel it out as much as they can, but man, at least for D7, he knows that he saved that early to mid game whenever necessary, when it was about to teeter in the
Yo, these guys are giving us a show. Awesome, man. Now you can't take anything out of Echo. As you've seen, it was almost Echo's win. And by so small, right? Just a bit, a millisecond almost. Burn X Flash was able to turn that around. See, Echo Sanji was almost able to finish that off. You can't take away anything from Echo, man. Echo and Burn X Flash is giving us a great show, even with Yawi and Benecutie on that one, almost ending it. So close, man. You just have to give props to both of these teams. Whew. This is just game 3 though. There's still a chance for Echo. Echo needs to win 2 more games, and Burn X Flash needs to win 1 more win. So props to Burn. Insane, man. These guys, this is fun. I'm just happy that we're getting to see this kind of plays. We thought that the best game. This is close. So which game do you think is better? I think it's still the Onyx versus Echo. This was more of a. It was so close moments. The finals, it's gonna be Blacklist versus Onyx. So, man, good stuff. This is what we came here for. Yeah, Onyx versus Echo still a level higher. as compared to the match that we've just had before. This game was more like so close. Yeah, that last Onyx Echo was still different. Really, but it was so close, man. Echo almost had it. LG retired live streaming for morning. Nah, we just need peanut butter. Yeah, also Echo's game from last Echo's fight on Onyx was just an hour or so ago before the burn fight. But let's not. Navarre's fault didn't save second skill. Whew. Some of the casters were saying that if Novaria actually switched his items, right? If Novaria actually switched his items to an attack, he could have finished the Nexus. But is that really something that does your brain has that time to process that? Or Novaria probably just decided, oh snap, it's open, I will go for it. Let's listen to the casters, man. Because
Boulders,
Yes.
essentially.
What I really wanted to bring up
Sisyphus,
here is the fact that now Burnex Flash match point.
Oh yeah.
They just need one more and they take the series, push the world champions to number 4 at MSC. This is the MSC curse, man.
No,
Oh.
it's you know.
Right? No, we have to talk about this, right? Because whoever gets that M Series title usually doesn't do well in M Series or even doesn't even get to M Series. Like we've seen so far.
So don't we in M series?
More like, think about it. Blacklist won M3. Did they win the did they win
They
the
didn't win
MSC
MPL.
afterward? They didn't win the MPL afterwards. They were trying to get pretty close to that MSC afterwards, and guess who won that one? RSGPH. Follow up with the next one, M4. Guess who won? Echo. Where are they right now? Not winning MSC.
Is that why Toda don't win internationals?
Well, probably not. Probably because we
Okay,
kind of
fine.
suck. But other than that, like, other than that, I will say, Echo is running on fumes, and you can tell that the level of polish coming out from them isn't there anymore. There's a lot of times where they're looking.
whew, there we go. Let's talk about that insane match, man. The casters are a little bit unusual with their thinking. Navarre switching to attack speed. Yeah, and I don't think that's something really. It would be great if Navaria did switch. Props for it, but I just imagine all of the stuff going through your mind during that moment, man. Whew. And anything could happen the moment they take their eyes off. Still not out though. Still not out. Echo still has a chance on this. Or Burn, probably just last win. I'm just happy we're able to see this. Anyways, the final show is gonna be on M5. Too much pressure on ako. Yeah, I kinda think so as well. A lot of people are expecting a lot of stuff on Echo. Is Elgin dubbing the casters? I hope next game will be interesting. Yeah. This best of 5. You've been watching for so long, I'm shocked. Yeah, we started around 11 a.m. No, 12. Because 11 a.m. the game still hasn't started. We started the live stream on 12 afternoon. Then we had like 50 minutes in between break. An hour or 50 minutes break. Yeah, most likely tomorrow is going to be best of 7. Onyx and Blacklist. Hopefully we see a good game and not a one-sided. What the heck is this cookie? Wait guys, I'm just going to fix the... There we go. streaming TikTok on YouTube? The audacity! How dare you? But TikTok is actually faster. It's more. That's why our live stream is actually earlier than the YouTube official live stream of MLBB, because we're getting the source from TikTok. Onyx versus Echo was one-sided, to be honest. Well, technically, since it's 3-0, but that last game, you have to admit that last game, and it could have gone to anyone. Who do you support for tomorrow? Ooh, it's gonna be hard. Mentally exhausted, Echo. Maybe, look at the reactions on their face. I would like Onyx to win, probably against Blacklist, so that when M4 comes, I mean M5, there's gonna be like a lot of stuff going on. Cause if Onyx wins against Blacklist, the M5 is gonna be more lit. It's gonna be the champion from M3 versus the champion from M4, and the MSC champion Onyx, who just beat Black and Echo from the MSC. So a lot of stuff is gonna be going on M5 if Onyx does win against Blacklist. But if Blacklist wins against Onyx tomorrow, it's like seeing another domination of Blacklist. For the PH guys, I think you can just take comfort that Kyrie is also PH and also the coach of Onyx PH. If it's too hard to come on, man, we just want to see great plays. It's nice that our country is dominating, but we just want to see great games, man. Yeah, another match. 1 minute before the draft starts. What happened here? I don't know anymore, man. I love surprises like this. And I think football edits. What's up? Elgin is just ignoring me. What was it? Football? And also, I think the team conditioning is also a huge part. Like, how mentally prepared are you on that day? So that's also a factor, right? The conditioning of these players, of these pro players during that game. I mean, Burn is actually in their home turf. So if Burn really evolved a lot, we have to admit that Burn evolved a lot as compared to their M4 matches, because they didn't do so well in M4. But look at them now. Look at Burn right now, man. So far from what they used to be during the M4. But Echo just needs 2 wins. It's still possible, man. Echo still just needs 2 wins. Still very possible for Echo. It would have been different if it was 0-2. But it's only 2-1, so still very doable for Echo. Probably they'll wake up. Since there's only 1 game left. When they're cornered, maybe that's when they're gonna get their A game on. Let's go. I'm gonna shut up.
Now we're going into the draft. Only a few seconds in. Atlas would greet us. And Echo, at this point, if they want to go for it, if they want to get third place here in MSC. They got to figure out how to put the flames out of Burn X Flash. We're going into the game, and we already see some bans here. Echo is going to be first pick, Burn X Flash second pick. And again, the Yuzong will not see the light of day on the 17th of June. Diggy, Blue, as well as Arlit has been banned out.
Now, I'm wondering if Burnex Flash are still going to commit to the Kaja ban like we saw before. And one of the things that I really wanted to point out is the fact that Echo won when Yaoi was able to make these momentous plays. He won in the first game with the Cho. Kaja is also something that he's very comfortable with. And so with that in mind, Burnex Flash, they actually go for the Kaja. Now, first pick for Echo.
Novaria is available, okay, Joy is available, Fredrin's available. But next Flash constantly tries to play the Fredrin, so wouldn't be surprised if that actually happens.
Another thing is, I kind of feel like the Valentina now out of the hands of Sanji might also be a pretty big thing, because the moment that Zcat is using it, I don't know, kind of feels like Sanji is a little bit off tempo.
I agree with that as well. I feel like Sanji, again, he's probably played a lot of Valentina during scrims, right? So he's got very accustomed to it very, very quickly. More so that when we come back to Echo, I'm hoping to see Eve this time around, because again, that's the other hero that he's performed exceptionally well on, with a 98% pick and ban rate with only 54% win rate. Vayne, almost double that number.
First of all, at last, get it? I get it.
I get it.
Nice. Has been used only twice, even though it is the featured hero. But the thing is, now that Diggy has been banned, it's going to be a pretty good pickup. And the thing is, we've been talking about it. Burnex Flash, they're one of the teams that has a very varied idea about how to approach the game. A lot of different roamers coming in from D7. Perhaps Atlas might be the next pick if Ben Cutie is on a hero that is easily punishable by the Atlas.
I don't really like the Atlas into the Bane pick, right? I think it hinders a lot of the aggression that the Atlas can have. So Franco now is going to be the choice here for D7. What do we think about this?
I mean, personally,
Did I say D7's Franco?
I personally think that this Franco is just good, right? Because we expect it to suppress the right targets. It can both suppress both the Joy as well as the Eve, depending on the situation. And Burnex Flash, they respond very well, banning out these big playmakers. It's over? You're making the call already?
It's over.
Because the Chow is not here?
We'll see.
What if Yaoi uses the Atlas? Atlas is traditionally pretty good against the Franco.
We'll see.
Why are you so angry?
Continue.
She just thought of that half a second later. But that is the truth. I do agree with you that, now that the Cho is gone, I'm hoping that Burnex Flash also gets rid of the Atlas. In this case, the Grok. Okay, so the Grok is probably a tell of what Burnex Flash wants to do. We come back to Echo, we see Lancelot and as well as the Melissa getting taken out.
Now that the Melissa has been taken out, probably going to have dinner, which most of you are probably doing right now. The Fredrin is still a pretty flex pick. If they want, they can pick up... Wait, is this going to be a good situation for it? Nah, because the Joy is there. Maybe the Leslie is not that great.
Right. That's what I was thinking too, but there's probably something better. I mean, Claude technically is still available.
No, dangerous, man. The Vengeance on the Joy. The Claude will shoot himself.
I mean, true, but you at least can use the BMI to create some space, right? And that's not something a lot of marksmen have.
Let's just wait 7 seconds.
We can wait 7 seconds, right?
It's either a marksman or a jungler. I'm hoping for a marksman so that
Time and tide wait for no man. Your team,
So Beatrix.
But again, Beatrix is not the best going up against the Joy until the Beatrix has the Hasclaw. Once the Beatrix has the Hasclaw, can kind of do something. Now the carry has been picked up alongside with the Kufra.
Yep. And being able to kind of capitalize on mistakes, having a combo started as well as a middle insurance policy in Sanji on this Eve. I'm liking Echo's lineup a lot, right? They finally found something that kind of fits their overall playstyle, but at the same time minimizes the margin of error. Now it's really just the communication between the players to synchronize the ultimates together to make it work.
So honestly, when it comes down to the final pick, we've got Valentina for Mage, Fredrin Jungle,
Or EXP.
Or EXP. Technically, we can also expect Valentina to go to the jungle to a certain extent, but I don't think that that's going to be the case. So, EXP laners? What's that?
Uranus.
Wow. Okay.
Gideon dislikes this hero.
So care?
I mean, the one thing that I absolutely love out of all that is just the Franco. Franco onto D7, he made his debut on it, and that he was insane with it.
Here's the thing, right? The thing about the Uranus, you can put pressure. And maybe that's all they want to do. Because right now, Echo feels like they might be crumbling under pressure. So when you realize your opponent is not doing well, you don't take your foot off their throat. Oh my god, that's dark. But you guys understand what I'm saying.
I totally get what you're saying. It's like a fart. It sucks when it's somebody else's. It's okay if it's your own. You're like, it's fine. But it's someone else's. Ew, gross.
With that being
Very
said,
relatable.
farts are very dangerous. But this game is going to be very dangerous for Echo. A lot is on their shoulders. If they want to continue, they got to win this one. But I got to feel like for next Flash, they want to end this.
This is match points for the Orcas here. Go big or go home. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to game number 4 between Echo and Burn X Flash. This could potentially be the last game of today.
The stakes are high, and Echo, they're working on whatever that they can in order to get themselves out of this deep ditch.
I mean, it's not going to be easy. To kick things off, immediately we're already seeing that Carl TZ has been slowed down on hitting his level 2. We know for a fact that Chima is going to be able to power farm relatively fast until Bane. Depending on what build that Carl TZ decides to go, damage probably is not going to be the way. He's probably going to build full tank here because he needs to be able to kind of face people like Chima or even ATM when it comes down to walking up to these neutral objectives rather than having to wait for the rest of his team to do the job for him. Yaoi in this case, his job is pretty simple, right? Get on top of the right target, start setting things up like Keyboy in the previous matchup, and then let the rest of the team like Sanji and as well as Kartizi to finish them off with their ults, right? That's the general game plan.
Okay, early flicker here, actually exhausted there by CCat in the mid lane. Things are getting a little bit aggressive here in the mid side, but I really wanted to talk about this Uranus and Joy matchup. How is that supposed to end up? Who has the better lane? But wait a minute.
Well, the Daily Cat,
All right.
it's not gonna do very much, but Shama is just somewhere around the corner. We're just waiting for something to happen, but B7 tried to go for the hook, didn't quite land.
Okay, back to that question, right? This EXP lane.
Literally goes nowhere. Like, Sanford is probably not going to kill ATM without some outside influence, and worst off, ATM technically is able to proxy without getting punished too hard overall, right? It really comes down to if ATM gets his first item in comparison. Oh no, he's in a lot of trouble now.
Both of them are currently level 4. The Rhythm of Joy connects down onto Shama. ATM is gonna be pretty much a-okay as he's right now has got his own, but they can actually just pop up anytime that they want. Shama takes the turtle. Sanji pops on the RWM. CCat pops up his own RWM, but they don't really care about popping up onto one another. Sanji and CCat are just staring at one another and just be like, hey, what's up, buddy?
Both launching artillery, both trading 2 for 2, dead even on either side. But now we're starting to see a couple of cracks coming in from Burn X Flash. We're thinking that maybe the Echo is suffering a lot from this fatigue, but now we're starting to see that even with Burn X Flash, some of their moves are starting to get sloppy, right? We're not seeing the polish that we saw in Games 3 as well as Game number 1 initially. Now, as the lanes start getting influenced again, I feel like Echo is defaulting to a very standard line of gameplay. We're not seeing anything too crazy out of them. We're not seeing the raw conditioning that we expected out of Echo's side. But even for Burn X Flash, right? They don't mind this. Playing the default strategy is totally okay, especially since a majority of this game is going to be predetermined with how you play the lane, how you get ahead in the lane.
And you can see that actually come to fruition here in that gold lane, right? A lot of focus. Even Sanji is actually rotated towards that area. They need Benny QT to come online as fast as possible to deal with these heavyweights in the front line from the side of Burn X Flash, like ATM, like Chima, especially when it comes down to those 5v5s when they're centering around and just going for those objectives.
I mean, just look at this, right? ATM, he can be as annoying as you want. Droid doesn't really threaten him, and the same goes the opposite way around. And even for Bane, no matter what he does, Fredrin is, especially if he's not building into damage, and it looks like he's building into the more tank variant of it, really doesn't stand a chance. Because at the end of the day, Jamal is able to face tank him all the way through, and if you start piling it up with CCat, you start piling it up specifically with D7, it becomes very, very difficult to actually get your butt on top of the pits.
All of 4 members from the side of Burn X Flash is ready and prepared for this turtle fight. In fact, even Donut could just jump in anytime as long as he clear out this wave. And he could do that very fast. With the Bandit's Rage pretty much ready, they would want to contest for this turtle as much as possible. Sanji pop off with the RWM. Then Ikai comes in. Shama steals it right under the nose of Echo. Echo couldn't do anything. What's wrong, Easy? The Iron Hook connects right down on Sanford. The one that shouldn't be caught. And ATN is a little bit late for the party. But what can he possibly do here? He just keeps on going with the Ionic Edge. Seacat goes in for the flicker. He wants to bring Kaltizi down. Yawi, Sanji, and Kaltizi, unfortunately, is under the turret and unable to do much.
Yeah, Burnix Flash just really picking up the pace here in the 5th minute of the game. And to be fair, Tma is a level above Kaltizi. So it really wasn't Kaltizi's turtle to win. But even so, I don't know. I feel like there's something wrong going on, but wait a minute.
Yawi, good jump, but unfortunately, that is on the Shama. One person. There's not much of a follow-up that we can expect to see there, and Burnex Flash will take that opportunity to bring down the first turret of this game.
Yep, the macro aspect of it with Burnex Flash is playing to their strengths, right? They unlocked Donut already, and now they're going to start swapping lanes to the top side of the map just so that they can farm as quickly as possible. If they get that mid turret, even better, but I don't think Echo is just going to allow them to do it for free. Now, knowing that Call TZ doesn't have this ultimate, now we see that Burnex Flash, they can take more aggressive positions, and I would have imagined that they would have started invading the jungle at this point of time, but interesting. They're sticking around, and they're also giving a couple of camps over to the Beatrix. They really are funneling Donut.
2,400 goldies for Burnix Flash, so that kind of doesn't make sense so far. I have never seen this. Echo have not picked up a single objective. Chama was able to take away the purple buff.
Sloppy plays. It really comes down to sloppy plays now. Echo returning to default. Retribution battles losing by Kaltizi.
No, but Carl didn't use his retribution.
I mean, technically, yeah, he didn't. But for now, Yaoi focuses on the Seacat. They did manage to get a kill, and that is great. They have an advantage on top of Burnex Flash. Shama is going to be putting himself on top of the turtle, and he's just going to be left with 1v1. Shama and Kaltizi, level 9 versus level 9. Yeah, Kaltizi still lost the fight. Donut jumps right in and manages to get a kill on the Sanford. 1-for-1 trade. And now it's going to be level Kaltizi in the midst of it all. Donut snipes him right on down. And that is going to be a devastation onto Echo.
The fatigue is here. They're exhausted. We're playing again. BXF is playing against a tired, exhausted Echo, and it's clear even with Carl TZ not even using that retribution. Let's look at the instant replay one more time, right? As soon as they walk up, it's unlucky that Carl TZ wasn't able to get in that spot, but it doesn't explain why Sanford is allowing himself to get hit by these abilities, especially the Bloody Han. He should be dashing into these bushes confidently because he has the reaction time, and we know he has the reaction time to get away with this.
That's why I kept saying this is off, right? It's off. It's not the Echo that we're so used to, so accustomed to. And Burnix Flash, they're taking advantage of it. I'm serious. Look at the stats, right? 0-0-0. No tower. No turtles just yet. They haven't been able to get anything on the board. Look at ATM now.
The Deadly Catch tosses right out, and Seacat, he did manage to keep 2% in the box, but it's not gonna amount to much. Sanji's HP doesn't seem to be good, but ATM, he can bring so much pressure just by being in this positive location. But let's be honest here, will he really die? Benny Cutie is forced to rotate. ATM is finally going down.
Okay, finally they get something for it, right? ATM has just been a little bit too disrespectful.
D7 Iron Hook, Bloody Hunt connecting down. Kaltizi, Yaoi, going down at the same damn time. Sanji wasn't able to do quite much, and Sanji is only going to be the RWM. Seacat goes right in, Benny Cutie's dead.
This is just painful to watch at this point. This is just the Kings. I get it. People are going to be saying that they've lost their crown at this point, but Echo, can you really blame them? They're trying their best. They're trying to put everything on their table. These young players are tired, and BXF, they have come off of a fresh break after their best of 5 series, and they watched everything go down. And now, I mean, just look at this instant replay. How many things could have gone better? The instant pickup the instant pickup from that Iron Hook. Even Yawi still trying to make it work by jumping into the middle of that fight. But it was the setup beforehand, the fact that ATM specifically getting a majority of the big spells from the side of Echo, put him in this position, right? They knew what cooldowns were gone. They knew it. And BXF just set up on the opposite side, knowing how many camps were missing on the bottom side.
I don't wish to question Benny Cutie, but
I was about to mention.
But
yeah.
the flicker seems like it's an accidental tap, because whenever you tap on the flicker, it goes towards your opponents.
Oh, I don't know. Because I was about to point that out too, right? I thought that it was an unnecessary engage that Benny Cutie took there. Understanding, like you mentioned, the cooldowns and the calculations. It's not Benny Cutie style. 8,000 gold lead for BXF in the first 10 minutes. And it's looking like they want more.
It is so different. Is it RWM on top of an RWM? Sanji forced to flicker out of that. But Natswitch touched onto Kaltizi, but in the meantime, that is going to be Yawi that's just going to be jumping over to the back line, followed by the Bloody Hunt, locking them down as much as they can. Sanford's still going to be alive so far. Zcat, D7, ATM, and Shamar will have no choice but to back off after a 1-for-1 trade with Donut, the dead guy.
Even on fumes, Echo still finds the angle, and I'm surprised they decided to try to make the attempt because Sanji had already used the RWM. Carl TC had already used the Deadly Catch at that point of time. But let's look at the items, right? They still haven't lost any inhibitors. I'm not seeing the damage just yet. I'm seeing the carry currently only add 2 items. They still need to have, at the very least, a Demon Hunter Sword to really start the profit. He's a little bit of gold off.
So far behind. But I guess now Echo is in a foot in the right direction, right? They really just want to buy a little bit more time for Benny Cutie to start getting those integral items to the kit and the damage that we know carry to be. Later on, these frontliners coming in from Burn X Flash should not be as, I would say, dominant with the way that they have played so far. But do they have the time towards to do that?
This situation really feels like a chicken and egg kind of thing. They want to drag the game for Benny Cutie, but in order to do that, they have to take neutral objectives. But Kaltizi is low on level 12 versus level 14.
And the freezing of the lanes, right, from Burn X Flash, it's really just drying them out.
Yeah, you have to starve them out. If you're in Burn X Flash's position, this is still war, right? I'm not going to feel sorry for you. This is for 3rd place, and this is for Cambodia, so I can understand the sentiment coming in from Burn X Flash, and they're making it loud and clear to Echo that you better not walk out of your base. We know that you have high ground defense, but if you don't have enough gold, and we know that Donut has basically got almost gotten full items, plus a Haas Claw to ensure that he can't possibly make a mistake. Now, they're just going to hold you out, rinse you out, and let you dry under the sun. It's going to be an easy Lord take here, yep.
It's going to be an easy Lord after all. But Shamar, resetting the Lord on purpose. This is something that we definitely seen from the side of Blacklist International. They understand that they had the control of this game. However, Dragon Pokemon may also not necessarily be good for them. They take it down. No challenge from Echo at all.
They can't at this point, right?
They really can't. And it's not in the control of Echo, right? They cannot push the tempo. They have nobody who was winning their lane hard enough to really make the difference at the end of the day. And they know, let's look at the game item equipment, and I think this will sell you the story even better.
Look at this. Just the disparity, right? Getting in. Oh, man. Oh, this is an
upset.
It's hard to watch.
It's hard.
It's hard to watch.
It very is hard because look, Samford, he's trying his absolute best. He's got 3 items. The fact that he does have mystery bargain in this case is going to be more than enough. But here we go, Burn X Flash. Let's see if they can end this.
The Lord barging right in with his trusty trident. He pillages and wants to bring Echo down. He's gonna go down real fast. But Burn X Flash will make full use of every single minion that will be marching in its way. Burn X Flash is not going to try to overextend themselves by picking off with a kill. They understand that even throughout it all, even with all this advantage, goal advantage, Echo still have a chance to fight back with the core under their nose.
Oh, Yaoi's charging though. Do you think he can get something?
It doesn't seem like it. Unfortunately, completely misses out. And there's the Bloody Hunter connects onto him. Yaoi literally delivered himself over to the side of Burn X Flash. Sanford will want to cover for it, only to be melted down by the Wesker. And now with 3 person left on the side of Echo, Burn X Flash will try
Three
to
waves are
bring the
crashing.
middle lane right down in.
3 waves are crashing here, Abstract.
The waves are crashing indeed. They're escorting right in. Left with Patty, Sanji, and Kaltizi. Is this how it's all gonna end? Burning Splash, they're taking their time. They understood that they don't have to rush this off. D7 with a sliver of health. Shama, in fact, a lot of
Yowie?
them doesn't have a lot of health to work with. Yowie! He jumps in, and he managed to find onto Seacat. In the end, Echo pushes the entirety of Burn Axe Flash away.
Echo still wants to stay in the game, but it is still going to be D7 taken down there in the top side. They managed to stay in the game a little bit longer, trying to go for the engage here, going full mid. They want to take things back into their control.
That's my M4 champion right there. Even on fumes, even with nothing left in the tank, the heart there just going on pure heart, pure instinct. Warriors in their own right. Take what is yours, take what's back, because Burnex Flash, they're gonna have to work for this end.
And work they will. That initial 6,000 gold lead has shrunk to only 4,000. And this is what we meant. Buying time for Echo is going to be very important. The fact that Yowie was able to make that play, get the pick onto those important members from Burnex Flash, really bought Echo enough time to perhaps turn things around. And now 5v5, they're gonna start going for the Lord Dance once again. Does Echo have it in their kit to play this chess game once again with Burnex Flash?
So right now, at least they've evened out the score. This is the point where they can actually do this. They see an angle here. Look, the mid lane setup. They've already got 2 ready to push out in case anybody does anything a little too crazy. But Echo, they don't mind Burnex Flash being on top of it first. They know that they can punish them. Look at the response coming in from Burnex Flash. Sending Bodona. Wait, the conceal play. The conceal play going all the way around here, looking for an opportunity.
They're looking for carry.
Yowie jumps right in, and that is gonna be a stun, but unfortunately D7 will still stay alive. Kaltizi works his way. He's gonna be running back. He needs to ensure that he's still gonna be alive. He needs to ensure that an entirety of the team keeps him alive. Donut all the way to the back. The entirety of BXF. Their hit me is not looking good at all. As Echo now it rampages through. They are on a mission like a man possessed. And Burnex Flash, they have nowhere in hell gonna get back into this fight. AGM being chowed down like a hungry toddler. Shama wants to take on the retribution battle. Echo takes this game just for now.
4-for-1 trade. Look at the death timers. Ladies and gentlemen, is this it for Burnex Flash?
And now Benedict killed it. It seems like this is gonna be the end. And we are going into a 5-game series.
That's my world champion. That's my world champion pick. Second win, pulling into game number 5. They said they want to put on a show for Burnex Flash. They're going to make them work for every inch of soil.
Wow, we're pushing it to game 5, ladies and gentlemen. Echo really showing what it means to be the Apex Predators. They're not going to go down with a fight. And that was an interesting chain of events. Echo, for the most part, were looking distraught. They weren't looking in form. They were looking like, you mentioned, on fumes. But they were still able to have the consistency, to have that shape of mind to come back in that game. And I believe Yowie played a very important role in that comeback for them.
Say,
Woo!
this is not a drill. It's been so long in the Southeast Asia region, but now for 3rd place, we're going all 5 games. Are y'all ready?
I'm ready for this.
Yo, Abstract, you gotta be ready. You gotta be ready.
What about me?
I'm ready.
Are you loud? Are you okay?
Okay.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll bridge
My
that. I'll
cable
bridge that.
can't go that far.
Yeah.
My
All
cable
right.
can't go that far.
Wow.
God dang it. MSC. Oh, Yowie, definitely Yowie. MVP from that last saving the day. on that last base push. Almost getting... Huh. Yeah, Yawi deserved that, man. Yawi deserved that last... Whew. God dang it. MSC is turning out to be such a good tournament, man. I mean, day 3, day 1, day 2 of the knockout stage wasn't really that good. Most of the matches were one-sided. And Burn X Flash and Onyx surprising us. Beating the top dogs of the last M4. Dang, look at Yawi go. Still, Burn is doing super way better as compared to their M4 matches. So still props to Burn. Burn is not disappointing, man. Win or lose, I think Burn is already doing a great job. Burn is already performing way beyond the expectations of everyone. Man, they even gave Blacklist a hard time, and now Echo is barely surviving their match. Burn also made Blacklist sweat. So this is gonna be two last game. This is gonna be last game. Should have won when they've had the chance. Yeah, I know, right? Burn made the same mistake on Black and made the same mistake on Echo, which is when they were pushing the base. I don't think it was the same on that last one though. They really had a chance on that one. I think on that last base push they really had a chance. Not as compared to the previous one wherein they forced it too much. So win or lose, Burn is already exceeding the expectations of a lot of people. So props to Burn. Who else breathing manually? When's the next game? 15 minutes or so for the next game to start. One thing they lack is patience. This is lit. MSC is lit. When are you collabing with Peppa Pig? I don't think Peppa Pig is real, man. I think Peppa Pig is just a fictional character. Yeah, this is and just imagine this intense fight is just for the third match. I wonder what kind of game we're gonna see tomorrow with Blacklist against Onyx. Yo, Elgin, how's the banana? I think I've eaten like 15 bananas today. Banana. You wanna listen to the shoutcasters? Nah, you can't take anything away from Burn, man. Burn is already Burn evolved a lot as compared to their M4. They gave Blacklist a hard time. Giving Echo right now a hard time. I come back. Nah, I don't think that was Echo's plan. You can see the anxiety in the faces of the Echo back there. What time is the game tomorrow? It's 6 p.m. 6 p.m. Banana ASMR. Are you going to collab with Hororo-chan? I'm not sure. Oh, it's just ads. You guys should be showing the audience right now. Oh, probably because it's how they make money. So right now is probably the best time for them to show the ads. DeMarcus and Jamal? Who's that? How's your favorite marksman? Which one? Moskov? I was hoping for the Burn X Flash. Elgin, do you think MLBB should implement single elimination format in M5? What? Oh, single elimination in M5. I'm not sure. That might be too fast. And each teams are tired. Yeah, Burn also played against Blacklist today, but they had a longer rest time as compared to Echo, who just played against Onyx. What game share you're using? It's not the game share, just regular office chair. Ooh. Onyx is not strong only. Bots and Keyboy was also good on that last Onyx. Why do you hate Onyx? Bots and Keyboy also did great on that last one. It was actually Keyboy who was the MVP on that last fight against Echo. Make a video about the event advanced draw or regular. Yeah, we will probably make a video about it, Mark. They should sell MLBB to PH companies, to be honest. Oh, I think that's not something that's gonna happen. Most of the games that we're playing right now is owned by China, man. Even Blizzard has already been bought by a Chinese. Pretty much everything. I can barely think of a game, especially mobile games, that's not owned by a Chinese company. Echo pause. Gos Suhun. No Keyboy is weak, only Kyrie is strong in on. Well, Marvin, why? Why do you hate it so much? Yeah, that's a fact. Chinese companies dominates the mobile games. They just don't tell you that. When are you gonna upload new video? We will probably work on the surprise box soon. Didn't we upload a video right now? I'm gonna check. Ooh. Oh, I'm actually live right now. I'm checking my channel. Legit backs or scam backs? Because Chinese games are the best. TikTok and ML Moonton is basically under the same company. Why did Burn choke, man? Still, good job for Burn, because they are doing good. Trust me. As compared when they were on the M4. What do you think about the MSC trophy? I haven't looked at it that much, the MSC trophy. Come on, few more minutes before the game starts. Hope they pick Gord. General Luna, what's up? I love your movie, General Luna. Do you think Ixia is going to be a ban-worthy hero? We will see. Because sometimes a hero looks good on paper, but when the game, when it applied on the actual game. But I do think Ixia is going to be a bit OP. Especially with her ultimate sustain. Even though she doesn't have much mobility, I think Ixia has what it takes to be part of the meta. But we will see. Because she has nice sustain with her ultimate. Just Echo. Can Ben 10 and MLBB collab be true? I am not sure. Can I hear the hey guys, what's up, Elgin? Sure. The intro. Let me see. Hey guys, what's up? So we have a new update on Advanced Server. First is the cancelled adjustments on Hass's Claws and Scarlet Phantom. The developers will revert your mom. Here we go. Thoughts on Eterna? Eterna is looking hot. I mean, I would. She's pretty. Eterna is pretty. When will be the global version be updated? Nah, I think the Chinese version really is just different as compared to our usual MLBB. Because I don't think it's ever gonna be the same. Chinese version. Smash or pass? Am I allowed to even say that? Like I said, man, I rarely pass. I rarely pass. That's all I can say. Your voice is literally so soothing. Naruto collab? Ooh, Naruto collab will be nice. Who will be Tsunade? Tsunade with her big forehead. One chance to win. Masscom student na. We were a nursing student. I did computer science during college, but I played Ragnarok instead of going to college. Priorities, man. I was on computer science when I was on college, but Ragnarok came out, the first ever MMORPG. So I dropped out and played Ragnarok. So kids, stay in school. And after that, I went nursing. After 4 years, after 4 years on Ragnarok, I went back to college as a nursing student. And then nursing student, 4th year, I finished everything, all of my cases, all of my OR duties, whatnot. I still had some minors to finish, but I've basically passed already. I just have to finish like some minor subjects to finish on summer. But then business, and then YouTube. Is the draft pick starting? If Mara cosplays an ML character, who will she be? Who would you want Mara to cosplay as an MLBB character? I would love someone to cosplay Hilda, but that is a tough role to play. Cosplaying Hilda is not just gonna be about costumes, man. You're gonna have to work out, get those abs, make those thighs thick. So I would love someone to cosplay Hilda, together with muscles. I love you, Elgin. I love you too, Ryu Abordo. Thick. Mr. Elgin, was it worth it to become YouTube content creator? I think one of the things I like being a YouTube content creator is the freedom of my time. Although there are certain times that we have to work way past 9 hours, right? You can handle your own time. You're free to work on your preferred hours. You can choose which hours you'd work on. And that's good for me because I have 4 kids. Having 4 kids, man. So it's good that I have the flexibility of your time when you're a YouTube content creator. That's pretty good when you have a lot of kids. Hardest nursing subject aside from med-surg? Oh, a lot. Almost everyone. Pharma is also hard. Here we go. I'm gonna shut up and let's listen to the draft pick.
Basically, for Burning Splash, it's all in terms of we don't want your comfort heroes.
This is very similar to how Blacklist International drafts when it comes down to their bats. They always love to take away Kaja, take away the Franco right off the bat, and sometimes even push in a 1-1. In fact, most of the time, push in a 1-1. I would love to honestly see Burnex Flash actually pull off an Ube against an Echo. That's how they solidify their win and, kind of like send Echo back to square one, where Echo won the Ube, they broke the Ube, and now they're broken again by the Ube.
Can I argue a point for that? I understand that that's how the results kind of panned out, but honestly, it felt like because Echo weren't playing to the strengths of their draft. In that game, they drafted for more pick, but for some reason, they kept going for the engage onto the team fights, fighting 5v5, just forcing something that they weren't built to win.
Okay, right now, I kind of feel like Echo has a very good start, very strong start. They got a Glue, they got a Fredrin. Fredrin so far, throughout MSC, has been an amazing hero in terms of controlling the game, controlling the jungle. The Glue has been very oppressive as well. Burning Splash, they got the Eve, which is pretty strong. But the thing is, probably is going to go over to mid. So Echo, I'm guessing the third pick might be Sanji getting back his Valentina.
That's the thing. I'm thinking whether or not that this Valentina is even worth considering as an option, right? Because Burnex Flash, for all intents and purposes, are eventually going to go into the Ube, and they make sure they have the carry to actually have a soft counter against their tank. So now, I think it's much clearer that Valentina probably is going to be the go-to regardless. If not, Beatrix at the very least for Benny QT to make something happen. If he really wants to win this lane hard without giving a question of a doubt, maybe even Harith. But still, you're trying to power through the raw healing of the Estes, and that's not easy to do.
Come on, Atlas.
I do like the fact that, yes, it's an Estes, yes, it's an Ube, but right now, Burnex Flash needs that top front line. So far, the top front line has always been Fredrin. Sometimes you throw in a Barats every now and then. So I think that Echo would have a very good idea of banning these tough nuts.
Do you want to say that again?
Barca?
No?
You know,
Alright.
hard ones,
Farsa getting picked up. And here's the thing. So far, everyone that has used the Farsa, Sanji, they've been doing very, very well in terms of dealing that very, very big burst damage. But one of the things about the Estes is you kind of don't care about that burst damage, especially if Burnex Flash, they really respect what Echo can bring. Just build an Athena shield.
We'll see how that goes. I personally don't believe that an Athena Shield is going to save everybody, because not everybody wants to consider going defensive. And in this particular case, even if you are going to be the carry, you're probably going to have to just wait out the Feathered Airstrike at the end of the day. I like where Echo's mindset is at. They're banning out the Arlet, making sure they also get rid of the Uranus, just to make sure that they can walk away from the real-world manipulation. But on the side of Burnex Flash, right, they get rid of the Quad, safe laners. If they want to get rid of one more safe laner, they can also get rid of the Beatrix, which would either force Benny QT on both either the Harith or even going along the lines of Brody. But even then, right, I hope to see that maybe we see an adjustment, right? A quick adjustment for the side of maybe, I want to say Echo, but I think it's for Burnex Flash to kind of set the question after that last pick.
Wait for no man.
I want to say that Echo very likely will pick a marksman, which will be a Beatrix, because this draft, the first pick with Fredrin, second pick Glue, third pick Farsa, is almost exactly the same as MPLPH game number 1 against Blacklist International, and their final pick was an Atlas.
Oh, that's going to be very interesting, because now the Melissa is very strong going up against a composition that they want to clump up. But the thing is, the Lapu is very strong going up against the Melissa. So now, looking at the composition, I can already see quite a lot of emphasis onto ATM. He is the one that can stop the Farsa. He is the one that can stop the Melissa. And I kind of feel like Echo knows that this is going to happen.
Yep.
So they're going to try to protect this Melissa and Farsa as much as they can.
Yep. I mean, I think I agree with Abstract on this one. The Atlas is looking mighty fine, but I like the fact that even for Burnex Flash, they considered all the options. The disengage coming in from that deadly catch is going to be highly valuable here, but instead of going for Atlas, something a little bit more flexible, something to actually stop that people from dashing around and actually peel your opponents away rather than dedicating to one single ult. So having this Kufra, and considering how Yaoi has been playing so far in the past 2 games on fumes, I think his natural instinct, just like your Taijutsu, his fight or flight on Kufra is still tip-top.
I gotta say, production, script writers, you guys deserve the rest. No more fun facts for today. We're gonna save all of that for tomorrow. This is the very last match of the day. Let's enjoy the game. And speaking of which, for you guys, good luck, because I'm gonna shut down my brain. I'm gonna enjoy the next 20, 30 minutes, 40. 50.
Yeah, yeah.
Maybe an
Keep on
hour
going.
of Mobile Legends Bang Bang.
Yeah, keep on going. Our record now is 39 minutes. Let's see if Burn X Flash and Echo can beat the limits. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the final game of today as both of these teams look to represent their country. Burn X Flash and Echo for the very last time in MSC.
The second wind is already applied to Echo in the last game. They had some momentum. Can they find that energy once more? I think for Sanford, at the very least, this lane will be relatively simple for him. He will be able to control it, no problem. And if he keeps on trading against ATM like this, eventually there'll be enough stacks where he cannot dodge out of the slam anymore. However, on the top side of this, I think the hardest role right now, a lot of weight is on both Benny QT and as well as Yaoi. Benny QT not only must protect himself against ATM with or without Yaoi regardless, but still needs to be able to deal relevant damage to the front line and as many people as possible when he throws out muddles.
And on top of that, right, I don't think Sanji's job is any easier, right? He's supposed to deal out the damage, but the crazy thing about the Farsa is despite the damage that you can have, you're so vulnerable because, you know, you're standing idly by.
Sanji comes into the
Oh my
drive-by.
God.
ATM flickers backwards. Sanji flickers forward. 1-for-1 trade. That's not a very good trade for Echo at all.
I beg to differ.
Really?
Because Sanji is almost guaranteed level 4 no matter what, as long as he shows up on the EXP side of the map. This is personally great for Sanford because now this volatile lane, or more importantly, this already losing matchup has now become impossible for ATM to really recover from if Sanford continues to play at the level he is right now.
Oh.
All right. With the trades happening right now, 2 minutes are on the clock. Both of these teams already centering their focus onto the next objective. A lot are already having their level 4 resources. Let's see how this pans out.
ATM just hit level 4, and thus he will be going in with the bravest warriors, just jumping right in. Big stunts onto Kaltizi and Sanji. Unfortunately, untimely, because he would have been able to stop Kaltizi with their retribution.
What did I say? Sanji still hits level 4, gets away with a kill, and is still totally fine here. Well,
That's
sorry,
nice.
not necessarily a kill, but at the very least, you know what I'm talking about, right? He hasn't really lost too much, and arguably, I would say that he has an EXP lead over his opponent onto CCAT.
But even if Sanji is going to be able to get those levels, to get that farm, later on, I feel like it's going to be a little bit
Run
more
him down.
difficult to have an impact in those team fights. I'm going to continue later.
Sanji is back down to the bottom lane, slams, and everything just gonna be thrown right at ATM. And of course, the split attaches himself onto the ATM. Sanji and Sanford back as a dynamic duo.
Yeah, ATM's not having the bestest of times. 0-1 already here in the first 3 minutes. They are still trying to just uneven that lane matchup. But now CCAT.
Well, at least there is an RWM to keep himself intact and root himself down onto the ground. Kaltizi, Sanji, and Sanford unfortunately missed that opportunity.
Oh, thank God Carl CZ didn't die there. He really needs to hit level 7 right now because Chima is able to power farm the rest of his remaining jungle camps if he decided to fall.
And now Yaoi doesn't really quite have a lot of help to work with.
Oh,
Medicure
oh.
immediately dashes forward and the counter protection
Oh!
is going to be working out for him. Yaoi connects down. He doesn't have a lot of help to work with. But unfortunately, Sanji's Feather Aspect is a little bit too far. He wasn't able to quite connect. But it's going to be a 1-for-1 trade. Shama is dead for an exchange for the Roma. CCAT all the way down in middle lane. Kaltizi, he doesn't have the retribution, but he still manages to get the kill down onto CCAT.
I love this, right? Already the first few minutes of the game, you can see trades happening left and right, but so far, Echo is still leading in economy.
And ATM completely cornered down. Sanford and Kaltizi win. Even Sanji, they're all in here.
Oh, no,
the big start from ATM, almost doing something on the Kaltizi. He's still alive. He wanted to get himself out so badly, but he wasn't able to.
Beautifully done by Carl TZ. Now the hardest part is securing this next objective.
Feather strike slams down an artillery barrage, allows Kaltizi to eventually get the turtle, and the rest of Echo backs themselves out of there.
It's so insane, right? Because Burn X Flash were trying to put Echo in a really discomfort. And the fact that Carl Tizzy was so low, I thought that perhaps they couldn't contest it. But even despite being thrown everything in the arsenal of Burnex Flash, he was still able to secure that retribution. And that is the Carl Tizzy we know and love.
Absolutely, right? This team, Echo, was known for having just a little bit of momentum and stretching a lead so far across the board that it felt impossible to come back from. And this is how Echo is going to be playing. They're on a comp that they're comfortable with, that they played hours and hours of scrims every single day to get to this level. Just raw instincts coming out of them, and you can see how sharp they are. They smell that this is that last game, and if they finish this quick, they get to go home early.
Right now, that lane matchup, right? Carry as well as a Benny QT, both of them are at the same level. Whereas, who's supposed to win in this early game?
Well, I mean, Echo is supposed to win in this early game. Maybe not necessarily the mid lane, but at least for the side lanes, right? That's why you're seeing that BXF are making sure that they are utilizing both their jungle as well as their roam support to come up onto this top side to really affect the lane that matters. And in this case, it's going to be on Donut, right? He needs the gold.
3 versus 3, Sanji activates the artillery, pushes Shama, D7 and Donut out of the way, while Benny Cutie just gonna be hammering down and chipping the turrets down. Literally, this 3 versus 3 fight was teetering on a breaking point.
Yeah, even in the bottom lane, it feels like things are getting a little stale here for both of them. I thought that perhaps maybe because of the early kills coming onto ATM, it would make it a little bit more in direction for Sanford. But the fact that ATM with that level 4 power spike, now things are getting a little bit more equal. How is that going to fare for both of these teams one day? Whoa, 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 whoa!
Yeah, we connect down onto Shama. They really want to buzz him down, but unfortunately, the Blessing of the Moon God is just going to be connecting. Sanford is still right on top of Shama, while ATM is all the way over to the back lines. It's Roma against 3. It's ESP laners against 3. But the thing is, Sanford might be able to get away, while ATM couldn't. That's the difference.
Beautifully done. Beautifully done. Once again, we're seeing this is the lead, right? Even though ATM is like, yes, I'm trying to equalize. I should be more punished by Sanford. But the fact is that Sanford is walking away with 3 assists, not kills, and now Carl Tizzy is able to walk into enemy jungle territory.
D7 barely manages to get away. That's rough.
And this is what I was really concerned about coming into the drafts, right? We don't see the same amount of impact from D7 like we did before because of how Echo are so great at trying to split the map. But here we go, Yowie!
That's not good for ATM. It's going to be taken down once again. The middle lane turret is just about a sliver of health. Echo takes this game by the force, and ATM died 5 times already.
I mean, look at this. The momentum that's being built by both Sanji and as well as Sanford is now influencing the rest. Everybody else feels it, right? The momentum pushing them forward. A 4.2k. Echo starting to look back in form. And unfortunately for Burnex Flash, they're the ones looking a little sloppy now. They're the ones who have recognized that, oh man, this is how Echo felt in game 1 and in game 2.
The curious thing is I was actually quite concerned with the Farsa pick. I didn't believe it. I wasn't convinced because of how much dive Burnex Flash has in their arsenal to cancel out. What?
Yeah, we didn't connect with the Tyrant's Revenge, but at least that was a Tyrant's Rage, as well as the fact that Airstrike that ultimately ends Jamal.
Now, this is what we want to see coming in from Echo, right? A 4-in-1 split. Make sure that Glue, who is already super strong and dominating his lane, to keep his influence on that top side of the map. While the rest of Echo, they all need to be together. The raw damage that they have is more than enough to take out any member from the side of Burnex Flash if they start walking up. And better yet, if D7 pops his ult early, they could get the Glue to rotate down and pull someone out of position again and again and again. I mean, look at this. ATM is just watching this happen in front of his eyes.
And now the purple buff gets stolen away by the hands of Carl Tizzy. Shama is slowly being starved out by Echo. And to make it even worse, the Lord is currently available. Carl Tizzy doesn't have... Oh wait, he still has his retribution.
But he's nowhere near the Lord right now. It doesn't look like Burnex Flash want to go for a commit onto this. They're looking for something else there in the top side. Yeah, no contest whatsoever. Burnex Flash, they're letting it go to Echo.
Let's not forget, same problem as last time. Their high ground defense coming off of Burn X Flash is very, very real. Even though ATM is 5-1-0, if he Bravest Fight is raging slashes an entire wave, he's most likely going to destroy that wave, assuming that he's already got his first item built, the Hunter's Strike in this particular case. Other than that, Echo, they need to start fishing for people, right? Look for people to, you know, try and go for this wave. And I mean, ATM, and eventually ATM is not going to be worth killing anymore because he's not worth any gold. CCat and Shima are going to be the ones.
Tyrant's Rage onto ATM. ATM flickers himself away. Kaltizi wants to push his advantage, but unfortunately not quite enough to bring him down in order to get the numbers advantage.
Yeah, I really wanted to talk about that. If Yaoi can't go for a pick onto the members of Burn X Flash, I feel like the defense momentum for Burn X Flash is going to give them a little bit of an advantage.
And now they're going to slow push all the waves in. They're going to crash at about the same time. And even on that top side, Sanford, well played, just to make sure that they synchronize in its collapse.
Now with all three lanes marching down together, with the Lord marching down the bottom lane with his trusty Trident, doesn't have to crash just yet. Sunny's HP doesn't look good, but never mind, he's still in artillery. ATM closes the gap, and that is going to be a 1-for-1 trade. Sanford is still taking on to the front lines. He still have a lot of goons. He's still going to be A-OK. Kaltizi, he's got a lot of health to still work with.
Man, Benny QT is looking so big here. 3 levels above his opponent in Tondona, and now they are just absolutely showing with the extended range. They can siege for days. Sanji, a little bit of a misplay, not gonna lie, trying to greed out for that feathered airstrike because, again, I think he was very confident that ATM would not be able to close the distance because they saw him use his flicker way earlier in the fight.
I completely agree with you. I feel like the timings in these team fights are very, very important, but you're right. I mean, that's a 2,000 gold deficit here for Donut. He needs to catch up.
Where is he going to find the gold, though? They try to move together on that top side as 5, same position as Echo was in game number 3, in game number 4 for Burn X Flash. Again, this is a mountain of a lead. Burn X Flash was only able to achieve at what, a 4.2k lead, 4.5k lead. This is an extra 3,000 on top of that. And now look at that, Winds of Nature from the side of Benny QT as well. He's in prime position and he gets the free hit from afar.
That's a hello from the hands of Yaoi. Jamal literally face-checked in the bush and he sees Yaoi. He knows where Yaoi is. It's not necessarily going to be kind of like surprise hit come from the side of Echo anymore. But Burn X Flash, they know that they're gonna have to play it safe. The Lord is coming on in 10 seconds. What can they possibly do right now?
Well, hope and pray that the high ground is going to be more than enough, right? They're hoping that Sanji isn't going to one-shot them, and more importantly so, somebody will have to sacrifice their life. And in this case, it's going to be the deadly catch just to force him out of position when he does use that feathered airstrike. Like, look at this. They're not even going to contest. They're not even going to try because there's no need to. They can buy time and really slow this game down.
Honestly, I don't think it's in their best interest to even contest for that, right? I mean, the best thing that they can do is wait for the Lord to enter, to siege their own base, look for a strong 5v5, try to catch Echo out, and maybe turn the game around like we saw Echo do in that previous game.
We're very hopeful here. We're very, very hopeful, right? Because the battle spells now start coming into play. And I think even for ATM, he recognizes that he can't lose that. He can't lose his flicker. Because as soon as he goes for that Bravest Fight...
Oh! 3-man! Yaoi is a beast! In the meantime, all the way to the back lines, Sanji is gonna be A-OK despite the fact that ATM just dove right onto him.
They've guaranteed an inhibitor turret. CCat was their high ground defense. Donut all he can do is focus on that lore, but Jima can try his best, but Echo won't stop now!
That was so close from the side of Yaoi, but the main thing that they're going to be looking out for is going to be the middle lane inhibitor turret. The top lane is going to be go down, and now the Lord even crashes down to the bottom lane. Look at Jamal, it's going to go straight down. The rest of Echo moving right in, punching the inside, punching Donut, but how about the core? Echo! They are they end the game with a bang! And that is how we get our 3rd place.
Man, flames extinguished by the force of the Orcas. Once again proving that they are the apex predators.
That's my GOAT. That's my GOAT. I still hold strong to it. Echo, they still got it in them, even when they got nothing left, even when they are pushed to the brink of failure. Muscle, but whether it be to the heart of being broken or their spirits, they still.
And there you have it, guys. Echo making us nervous back there. But still, props to Burn, who exceeded a lot of people's expectations, man. So props to Burn. Burn is actually really good, man. Remember, this is the Blacklist and Echo, and they gave both of these teams a hard time. So, but still, Echo came out on top. Echo is the third place. Tomorrow is gonna be the Blacklist against Onyx, fighting for the first place. You can see Sanford's. Do you want to hear the interview? You can see Sanford's relief after that game. You can really tell that they were feeling the stress. So let's madungis gag. Madungis 80. Let's listen.
Masaya pa rin naman po kasi syempre achievement pa rin po na third place kami sa MSC, and thank you pa rin sa lahat ng sumuporta dyan. Babalik kaming malakas. Yan po. Thank you so much. Love you all, guys.
អូខេគាត់ពិតជាសប្បាយចិត្តមែនតើគាត់អាចទទួលបាននូវជ័យជំនះនៅក្នុងការប្រកួតមួយនេះមិនដឹងថាជាយ៉ាងណាទេមុននឹងប៉ុន្តែឥឡូវទទួលបាននៅ third place គឺលំដាប់ថ្នាក់លេខ3តែម្ដងនៅក្នុងការប្រកួតមួយនេះផងដែរគាត់សប្បាយចិត្តមែនតើបាទ
Now, how difficult was this series for you, seeing as it reached all the way to Game 5?
Ano po, sobrang nakakapagod po tsaka nakaka-drain kasi galing kami talo eh. So, parang medyo malungkot kaming lahat pero sabi ng namin babawi na lang kami.
So it's been very difficult and it's been very draining because they just came from a loss, but they told each other that they're gonna make it up and they're gonna come back strong.
អូខេវាពិតជាពិបាកមែនតើសម្រាប់ពួកគាត់ដោយសារតែគាត់ទើបតែប្រកួតជាមួយនឹងខាង team Onyx ហើយឥឡូវនេះគាត់ត្រឡប់មកវិញអញ្ចឹងគាត់ប្រើ energy ច្រើនមែនតើប៉ុន្តែនៅតែទទួលបាននូវជ័យជំនះនៅក្នុងការប្រកួតមួយនេះផងដែរបាទ
How did you power through today? You came from a defeat. How did you pump each other up? I mean, it's been a long day. You guys have been here for 8 hours. So what was said during the break to make sure that you were able to get third spot?
Ano po, naglolokohan na lang po kami para ma-boost po yung moral namin isa't isa. Lahat na lang po ginagawa namin biro.
They were joking around with each other to boost each other's morale. So they were making everything as a joke earlier during the break just to make each other happier.
អូខេគាត់និយាយលេងជាមួយគ្នាទៅវិញទៅមកក្នុងការជំរុញនៅទឹកចិត្តគ្នាក្នុងការឲ្យលេងទទួលបាននូវជ័យជំនះអញ្ចឹងការនិយាយលេងនេះគឺអាចទទួលបាននូវ energy មួយចំនួននៅក្នុងការលេងឲ្យបានឈ្នះល្អនៅក្នុងពេលនេះផងដែរ Okay, so my question is that how do you feel and how do you think about the home heroes Burn is Flash? Is there any things you want to say about that?
Patagalog na ako.
Ano yung sa tingin nyo? Anong opinion nyo dun sa Burn X Flash? Anong masasabi nyo tungkol sa performance nila? Kasi sila yung home team.
Ano po, masarap po sila kalaban, ang lakas po nila. Nag-improve po sila ng sobra, sabay, grabe pala talaga yung home court advantage.
Oh, they're really great as an opponent. They got stronger. And there really is such thing called home court advantage.
Okay, Burn X Flash របស់យើងមិនងាយនឹងទទួលបាននូវជ័យជំនះទេបាទព្រោះថានៅពេលដែលលេងគឺត្រូវតទល់ខ្លាំងមែនទែនជាមួយនឹង Burn X Flash របស់យើងទឹកដៃរបស់គាត់ក៏ខ្លាំងដូចគ្នាផងដែរបាទនៅក្នុងការការពារប្រទេសរបស់ខ្លួនឯងផងដែរ Okay, so can I have a follow-up question? Who is the most impressive ones in the Burn X Flash? Do you think that which one is the most impressed one?
Sanji, sino yung pinaka-impressive sa Burn X Flash sa kalaban nyo kanina?
Si Donut po.
Donut!
Okay, Donut គឺជាបុគ្គលម្នាក់ក៏ដូចជាអ្នកលេងម្នាក់ដែលគាត់ពិតជាមានអារម្មណ៍ថាខ្លាំងមែនទែនគួរឲ្យស្កប់ស្ងាយបាទ
And this one is for Sanford. Sanford, earlier I passed by you, Sanji, and Yawi. And you said to me, sorry po. Why? What's going through your mind right now?
Feel ko po parang di ko po nagampanan na maayos yung role ko. Pero parang di ko rin po naabot yung expectation ng mga tao na gawin yung page po ulit and ayun. Pero thank you pa rin po sa mga sumuporta sa amin.
He was saying sorry because he feels that he wasn't able to fulfill his role and meet the expectations of the grand finals being Philippines versus Philippines. But you know what? Third place, even though you guys are third place, you guys did well. A lot of people are rooting for you. A lot of people are proud of you. Onyx just came out as a stronger team, and we can definitely see that Blacklist, even Blacklist International, will have a hard time. So cheer up, keep your head up, because we're still proud of Echo winning today's game as third.
អូខេគាត់ពិតជាសោកស្ដាយមែនទែនដែលគាត់អាចទទួលបានជ័យជំនះ
And there you have it, guys. So props to Burn showing us a good, insanely good game against these top teams. And also for Echo, right, hanging on there despite the fatigue that they felt against Onyx. So anyways, guys, we're gonna be hi Jerky and Zaldi. We're gonna be back tomorrow. It's gonna be Blacklist versus Onyx, and it's gonna be around 7 p.m. Okay, bye guys, thank you for watching, have a good night, and let's all dream of Mara. Mara. Shout out to Kambongaris, Janiel L. Byers, bye Radish, Austin, thank you for watching, Raymond, thank you for watching, Bonnie, Grump, Ball, Elite Gamer, Erin, Draconia, Rayquaza, Xiao Van Hong, Nathan Official, 0% Germs, Elite Gamer, Ace, Rebecca, Bonnie, bye Lisey, El Tigre, Carl Martin, good night. Hopefully you get good dreams. Good Mara dreams. Bye-bye. See you tomorrow on Black